Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Bout Nothin Podcast, the podcast where we talk about nothing. It's no longer the Nothing Podcast. I'm here. I'm back. We're the Something Podcast. Don't do it, Dylan. I haven't even introduced you yet. You can't make noises.
What?
I'm joined by Dylan and Ian.
Yay!
Again. We're going to talk about my recent trip to Tanzania.
In great detail.
I just want you to know, and I want everyone else, all the listeners of this show to know that I've been hyping up this episode for a minute, and I'm excited for the story.
This is the resurrection.
We're no longer the Nothing Podcast.
This is the third day.
There are people that have been.
This is the third day. I'm only here so that I can ascend to heaven.
There have been people that have been looking forward to this show.
Yeah.
And I think on the recent Aftermath podcast episode, I had specifically said that I think that you were going to have this episode. And so here we are.
Yeah.
I had every intention of doing it. There's alcohol involved.
Hell yeah. Sláinte.
I just want you to know we had to open fire into a crowd.
Wait, excuse me?
There were too many of them. They were wanting the episode.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying...
Motherfuckers were frothing at the
I thought you
mouth.
just said for funsies.
For you to come back.
You were like, we
You
had to
kidding
open
me?
fire into a crowd. Anyway.
He just shot in the air just to scare him.
Yeah.
There was no disperse or. It
Yeah.
was just, you will be fired upon.
Oh, man. It was just, I'm going to fire upon you
Right.
because I said so. Oh, it's terrible.
They should have known better. It wasn't highlighted in the podcast directions like we usually do.
So, to start, I recently, for background, for people who don't know,
Yes.
I recently
For the new people in the back.
or for people who I'm going to probably send this to
poor
that don't even
bastards
know
that
that I have a
wandered
podcast.
Yes.
And so I recently climbed Mount Kilimanjaro in Tanzania.
Whoa.
I did it to raise awareness for my condition, ulcerative colitis.
Peak.
And it's
Peak,
been
literally.
it's been summit. It's been 3 years in the making. I told myself so part of why you're probably going to hear me talk about some of this in very big, grandiose, epic words is because this has not just been 3 years in the making. A lot of people, this is their dream. They want to do it, and they were doing it because it was their birthday or because they wanted to do it. But for me, this was something that I wanted to do years and years ago to raise awareness for hemophilia because I had a friend who was doing it with a group to raise awareness for hemophilia. He had hemophilia. Well, then whenever I was in the hospital, I realized that I got diagnosed with ulcerative colitis, and I have quite my own thing to be raising awareness for.
Also, it kind of was, if I'm not mistaken, there was a potential when you first got the condition that like it was going to affect like the rest of your life.
Well,
like,
that's what I was going to say is that whenever I got diagnosed with that, is I have my own thing to be raising awareness for, but also I really couldn't leave the hospital bed. I was in bad enough condition that if I got up to go to the bathroom, I'd be out of breath. I had like no red blood cells. I was in shitty condition, no pun intended. And so
He's in the brown.
I was about to make a bad joke.
So,
I was going to say, I think you wish you had shitty conditions.
So it's funny. At one point, I made this joke before on one or both of the podcasts. At one point, my doctor was like, "Yeah, man, you're lucky to be alive," and I was like, "Whoa, doc, I make those jokes. You can't make those."
I wasn't fucking serious.
It sounds a lot more serious whenever you say I nearly
scary.
died.
It's scary when you say it.
Yeah. It sounds a lot more serious when you say it.
I don't think I'm ever gonna forget the day it was like real fucking bad.
Yeah.
I walked into the studio. Ian was on the phone with you. The he was starting to break down. I mean,
I was scared.
Yeah,
I was terrified.
His fucking little brother.
I was like, my brother just like, basically told me, he's like, my
I'm in the hospital dying.
Yeah, my doctor said I may not make it. And I was like, bruh.
So whenever I was in the hospital, I was I had a lot of things going on. I was I guess just emotional. And
justifiable.
I don't know to say like, because it's weird. Like I don't know what I was mad at, but I felt like mad. But I also like was like sad, obviously. So I felt a lot of things. But I told myself that I was going to get better, and I told myself that I was going to do whatever it took, and I was not going to be scared anymore, and that I'm going to get better. I'm going to get to the point where I can get out of this hospital bed, and I'm gonna stop wasting my fucking time, and I'm going to go travel. I'm going to see the world, and instead of a lot of things that, and I said this whenever I was first interviewing to do the contract work that I do with AbbVie.
Yeah.
I said a lot of things that were, I want to do this, became, I nearly died at the age of 22. I'm gonna do this.
Yeah.
And so in that hospital bed, I told myself that I was going to climb Mount Kilimanjaro. So fast forward to where we are now. I can now say I've done it, which is huge for me.
And that was 3 years ago, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So I Good Friday 2022.
Look at you now.
Damn.
Good Friday 2022, I got diagnosed.
That's crazy.
And initially, I was just fun fact. I guess I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease because they can just do a colonoscopy, see that, and say Crohn's disease. But it takes like a path report and all that things to come back as UC. So initially, I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease, and then they put UC in my chart, and I had both of them for a while, so I was confused. So a lot of people I told I had Crohn's disease at first. It's really to everybody except for me and my doctor. There is no difference. For me and my doctor, there is a difference.
Of course.
But for everybody else, they're both inflammatory bowel diseases. They're both autoimmune diseases, and they're both at the same treatments. So
both suck.
So that's part of why this was a huge deal for me. And I have been working to do this to raise awareness. So my goal is to share this story in a lot of different ways and to put my face out there so that ideally, hopefully, a picture of me at the summit saying that you can do this will get to somebody in a hospital bed. Because if even one person can get that little bit of hope, knowing that this isn't going to keep them down forever, it's just got them down right now. That's why I did this. And so this was a huge deal for me.
That's big.
Which is why I did it. So that's why we're sharing the story. We're going to share all the fun things. It's not going to get super deep and emotional probably until the end again. But I wanted to preface this with the fact that I'm sharing this on the podcast as one of my many outlets of sharing why I'm doing this. This was a huge deal for me. And so initially on the plane, I actually wrote this one down because I was sitting next to some older couple, grandpa and grandma, right? Yeah. Do you guys know how to get wine stains out of a white sweater? Because shout out to Delta, by the way. They spilled wine on grandma's sweater. And the guy was super nice about it. He apologized. He gave them like free miles and like cash and
of course, as Delta does.
All these all these things. Like they made it up to him, but also grandma had wine stains in her white sweater.
Right.
And it was funny because at one point while she's trying to get the wine stains out, he's like, is there anything else I can do to help? And she was like, well, while trying to dab the stand, she says, well, I do still want the wine. He pours a second thing of wine.
Waste not want wine.
Yeah, he was like, I still want the wine.
I hate to tempt fate, but could you please?
Can we go for a round two? She's like,
I still want the wine.
And I've got the window seat. She's in the middle who got the wine on her. Yes. And her husband's on the aisle seat. Nothing got on me. And she's like, oh, are you good? I took a headphone. I'm like, oh, I saw all that. I'm good, bro.
I'm good.
Are you good? You got some wine right there. So they were really nice. I was chatting with them a little bit. Do you guys know how to get wine stains out of?
I believe things? I've been told once upon a time, but I don't know off the top of my head.
Okay, so I was hoping that one of you guys had an idea so I could sip the Guinness and put it back down.
No, please sip the Guinness. Hold on a second. I'm going to say it's going to be...
start waffling and making shit up.
Hold on. Let me ignore Ethan for a second. Dylan, I think it would be like some sort of detergent or maybe like a weird Tide pin.
No, see, I'm going to go the opposite direction. Okay. If you spill wine, specifically red wine, on any kind of white scarf, you... must dye the rest of it red.
Okay, just soak the rest of it.
You just wash it with all red so it turns pink.
Yeah. You just give it a red wine bath.
So I've heard that you like put like salt or something on it and then you like rinse it, and whenever it's still wet you want to do something quickly because then it won't
before
it
sets in. Yeah.
It turns out just club soda.
Damn.
Is how you do it. Apparently, something about the bubbles and the slightly acidic nature of it lifts the stain out.
Bruh.
Jeez. So as soon as she spilled it, he grabs a club soda, hands it to her, and she just pours that shit on her sweater. Like she takes the sweater off and just pours the shit on her sweater. And I'll like look, and I'm like a little confused, but I'm not going to say anything yet because she's.
I assume you were more surprised that the sweater was all she had on.
Yeah, tits out. No. She had clothes on.
So did he just instinctually grab it?
The flight attendant spilled the wine.
Yes.
And was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And she's like, oh, okay, I need to. She like takes the sweater off or whatever. And she gets ready. And then the next thing she does, I guess I'm not really paying attention. So I like watched her like take the sweater off and like put it near. I'm trying to, I guess, not get wine on me.
Of course. Yeah.
So I'm over here like kind of like, hey, yo, that's just got some wine on it, man. Like, and so she like sets it down on her little stupid TV dinner tray that they have on this stupid, because we're in cattle class, we're in economy. We're in lemming,
the rest of the livestock.
In lemming class. Yeah, with the rest of the livestock. So like, yeah, it's just terrible back here. So she puts it there, and he's already handing her. She didn't say anything. He's already handing her club soda. She cracks it open and just
So they just both know.
Like poured it down a college kid's throat.
Just bottoms up.
Like
and it
standard fare.
starts pouring on there. I'm like, make sure it's not splashing me.
Right. It's like,
I'm not going to ask anything because she's doing it. She's
and then
like,
you were like, wait, what the fuck?
she's like, I dabbed.
A little visual bit.
Yeah. We need to get video for this podcast.
No, we don't.
We need to get video just so that I can not address these comments. So I dabbed. But she's like dabbing
I
it out.
want to play to camera and no one who listens to the audio knows.
Yeah. So she I would stare at the camera while talking so many times. She like asked for more paper towels or whatever, and then she asked for more club soda, and I'm like, should I Google it? But I don't have Wi-Fi yet, so I'm like, wait.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm gonna ask her, but I'm gonna wait for her to get the stain out. So he comes back and he hands her one of the liter bottles, like the full size bottles of just San Pellegrino, the just soda water.
Yeah.
And so she gets her Ziploc bag out and basically wants to keep it wet so that the thing doesn't set. Mm-hmm. So she basically soaks the rest of her sweater in this thing. But whenever I look at the sleeve, the stain's basically already gone.
Damn.
It just pulled the wine out. So I take a headphone out and I'm like,
how?
Yo,
can you explain that witchcraft that just fucking happened?
I wish I said that. I was like, the fuck just happened? I was like, what just happened?
For what?
And she's like, seltzer water just gets wine stains out. And I was like,
how?
Really? What? How? And she was like, yeah, the bubbles lifted out or whatever, but you have to keep it wet so the wine doesn't set in. So the problem is now I'm going to probably be cold because I have 10 more hours of flying. This was a shorter flight, but she had another one to go back to where she was going in England.
Yeah.
And she was like, unfortunately, I still can't wear the sweater for 10 hours going to my next flight. I was like, yeah, that sucks, dicks. But also, those stains gone.
How'd you figure that out?
And she was like, yeah, something about it. And so then I finally connected to the Wi-Fi and Googled it. And yeah, lo and behold, apparently a slightly acidic nature in the bubbles or something. And I watched it in real time. That's how you get wine stains out of cloth.
Damn.
Or at least prevent the wine stain from setting and getting bad. And then you wash it to make sure it doesn't. Yeah. I was very surprised. Anyway, that was my interesting fact and segue into them talking later. And they're talking about their grandson,
of course, and
the grandpa mentions that he's showing grandma what he got. It's
I love how you're saying they're your grandma, grandpa.
Well, yeah,
so
I guess.
I'm just playing.
So he shows grandma the picture of what he got. It's some dinosaurs or something, and she's like, "You're such a good grandpa." And his reply was, and I quote, "Well, I buy him the important things like dinosaurs, and you buy him the unimportant stuff like." Clothes or whatever. No, sorry. He said, you buy him the unimportant stuff and he shakes his hand and she says, clothes? And he was like, yeah. He was like, yeah, clothes. And I looked over and I was like, yeah, who needs it? Who needs it?
Bruh.
Oh, man. That couple was hilarious.
That's hilarious.
So then, that was my...
dinosaurs.
That was my... I buy him the important things like dinosaurs. You buy him the unimportant stuff
hey, son, have you heard of...
Sweater, Ellen?
Yeah.
Have you heard...
Check out this fucking Spinosaurus.
Yeah. Put this in a stegosaurus.
Hey there, champ. You ever heard of a transformer?
This is Megatron.
It was just the way he said it was and again, you're on a plane. It's even with headphones in, I could hear their conversation.
Of course, yeah.
We're so close.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, I buy him the important stuff like dinosaurs. I mean, you get him the unimportant things and she said, clothes? Yeah. And then she looks at me and she's like, really? And I was like, I mean, I'm kind of,
I was like,
look,
sorry.
I ain't going to say no to what I ain't Kylosaurus.
I mean, it depends on how old the boy is.
No,
dinosaurs pretty important.
It does not depend. I'm 26 years old. Okay?
The Tyrant Lizard King is always welcome in my home.
I'm 26 years old. And when she looked at me and she was like, really? I just can't win. I was like, in his defense, I still think dinosaurs are cool.
I mean, all I'm saying is
26 years old.
I see them bones. They look red. Okay?
I was like, in 26 I can get my own clothes. Okay. So if I got dinosaurs,
I can get clothes anytime.
I can buy myself clothes.
Yeah.
But if that old gentleman right there,
years old, I didn't give a shit about shirts. You know what I cared about? Stegosaurus.
The fucking Diplodocus.
Give me one of them. At this point in my life, if that old gentleman right there was to give me a Godzilla figure, you know what? I'd be happy about it.
You're damn right. How are you going to say no?
You can't.
1,000,000%.
Yes.
So
what happens next?
That was my first 8-hour flight to Amsterdam.
We're starting off high.
Yeah. This is
and it only goes up from here.
It's going to be a
literally.
long episode,
Oh, yeah.
because there's a lot of things to cover. But because that's my first 8-hour flight. I had a second 8-hour flight, and I was
Surprise.
next to another couple.
Part 2.
So I got on the flight and I asked this guy who only speaks French.
Okay.
And I was like, that's my seat.
Like a man from France.
And he's like,
How'd you talk to him?
I said, that's my seat. And he looked at me confused. So, and I pointed at the seat because I've traveled enough now that I'm good at like looking at someone, knowing that they probably can't speak my language.
Yes.
And speaking slower because I talk fast as shit.
Yes, you do.
And speaking slower, using simpler words because they probably don't speak great English, and also motioning while I do it.
Mm-hmm.
This probably comes from my job a little bit because I don't speak great Spanish, and there's a lot of people who speak Spanish here in this state. So it comes from me trying to communicate to patients with what little English they know, or the
accommodating.
English they admit they know at least. Because the cops are usually around. I wish I was joking, but that's 100%. The cops will leave, and I'll be like, "Okay, how much English do you really know? Come on, man! Like, make this easier for me."
Right.
Yeah,
I'm here to help you.
So I point to the seat, and I was like, "That's mine," and he says, "Okay," and nods his head.
Mm-hmm.
And doesn't move out my
get
damn
up.
way.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Okay."
See, that's when you should have hit him over the head with a fucking baguette.
Hey.
I learned lots of French, so I can swear in so many languages. After this
essential.
trip, after this trip,
that is required.
I can't say hello in a lot of languages, but I can swear in, I shit you not, a dozen languages.
Just imagine next time you see someone speaking French. Fuck you, bitch.
I take my backpack off, getting ready to put it up, and then the flight attendant walks up and is like, "Oh, is this your seat?" And I was like, "Yes." And he said, and I said,
"Is this creature giving you problems?"
Damn Frenchman. And I said, "Oh, yes, it is." Why does that fucking matter? You're the flight attendant. I can seat my own seat.
Speak French?
And he says, "Okay." And he said, "What did he say?" He said,
"Omelette du fromage."
No. The flight attendant said English. Yeah, he said English, French, or Dutch.
Oh,
I think is what he said, because I think we're in Amsterdam. I think that's why. I think it was English, French, or something.
Yeah.
And I said, English. And he was like, okay, well, this nice gentleman here only speaks French, and he wanted to sit next to his wife, but that's your seat. We were wondering if you would swap. And I was like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, whatever.
And he's like, awesome, thank you. You're so polite. And I was like, sure. I know, it's all the same to me. We're in cattle class. All these seats are dicks.
Doesn't really matter. As long as stay away from the electric fence, I'm okay.
Yeah.
It's worth mentioning, if he said it was a middle seat, I might have been more apprehensive, but still, it's the guy's wife. I don't care.
Yeah,
but
whatever.
it was like, that's an aisle seat, and the one we're going to move you to, also an aisle seat. So
Hey,
whatever. And I was like, I don't care. What, like 10 rows back? Is there a place for my bag? I don't care.
Call me a mustache twirler because I'm about to separate this man from the love of his life.
Yeah.
Damn.
First off, thank you. Second, I don't sympathize with the French. No.
Right.
So no, I moved back.
subhumans.
I'm happy I did, because I sat next to a couple that I would see multiple times later. And
What a coincidence.
yeah. So I moved back. I sit next to this this English couple from like Manchester, and they're really funny. They're also closer to my age, and they speak English, so it's great.
Hey, works out.
And I like,
As opposed to sitting next to Batman's wife.
I put my bag. Yeah, right. I put my bag up and like sat down next to him, and I asked them, which I don't normally do. I don't really talk to the people I sit next to on flights.
Right.
I mean, I guess it's going to be 8 hours, so I just thought, and I kept being asked, "Oh, you're going to Tanzania to climb Kilimanjaro? Is this for business or pleasure?" Got asked that a lot by every flight attendant making small talk,
Of course.
and 3 people sitting next to me making a small talk. And every time I didn't know how to answer it, because it's both. It was intentionally pleasure for me. I decided to do it, but also there is business involved.
But it became business.
Yeah.
Now, Ian, you'll get this, but if
Okay.
anyone ever asks me business or pleasure, I'm going to respond with combat.
There you go.
It's a good. I should have done that. Probably not on a flight. They would have probably been
The secret third option that no one knows about.
Yeah. So,
Behold, my secret third gun.
So I guess I asked. So I asked the couple sitting next to me, like, is Amsterdam? Sorry, I said, is this your first flight today?
Yeah.
And they were like, no, we just flew from here, and we're going to be going to Kilimanjaro. And I was like, nice. They were like, is it your first flight? And I was like, oh no, I've already flown an hour to Atlanta, and then I flew 8 hours to here. And they were like, that's ass, because this next flight is 9 hours and 20 minutes.
Yep.
And I was like, yep.
Time to clock in.
I would definitely call it buns for sure. Yeah. And they were like, cool. Is your final destination Kilimanjaro? You're going to Dar es Salaam, because it's one of those flights it's weird.
Yeah.
The flights between Kilimanjaro Airport and Dar es Salaam.
Yeah.
I guess more like that actually. Still.
He's making gestures with his hands.
Yeah,
As
sorry.
if
Yeah.
they can see it. We don't have the camera yet.
One is closer to the coast. It was for you guys. One is closer to the coast.
Our eyes.
I was making sure that the people at home knew you were talking about.
Get to shit. So every flight that
He's making a
lands.
face.
Every flight, yeah. Every flight that lands in Kilimanjaro then goes to Dar es Salaam, and then goes wherever it's going. So, that one I'm not going to address that one. The audience, there's no camera. You guys are
sorry.
I was playing to camera.
non-existent. We're just over here like flipping off your computer. Like there's no camera.
Like the fucking schizophrenics that say, "Chat, is this real?"
Yeah,
Chat, we're cooked. Chat, we're cooked.
Oh man, I definitely asked myself, "Chad, is this real?" while climbing the mountain. So,
anyways, I just say sorry. I apologize.
So, they always like stop at one and go to the other. So my flight back had an extra layover. It wasn't really a layover because I didn't get off the plane, because the flight lands in Kilimanjaro, then goes to Dar es Salaam every time. And so I asked them, I was like, is Kilimanjaro Airport your final destination, or are you guys going to Dar es Salaam? And they were like, no, we're getting with a guide, and we're going to climb Mount Kilimanjaro. And I was like, oh shit, me too. Is Dylan going to go get another beer?
I'm going to have to.
Yeah, okay,
sorry.
okay. Yeah, go for it. It's fine.
I didn't realize how fast I was down this fucking thing.
We're over here talking shit and downing things. Grab two. You know, God gave you two hands.
I got two. I'll be right back.
So,
yes.
The flights always go to Dar es Salaam.
Right.
And so they were like, we're climbing Kilimanjaro as well. And I was like, oh shit, me too. You know, like,
what a coincidence.
So I kind of told them I'm doing it to raise awareness for my condition, and it's something that I've been wanting to do. And they were like, nice, that's really cool. We're kind of just doing it because it's our anniversary. We've been wanting to do it. I was like, hey, not everyone has to have a big. You can just do it. Which I said this later.
You don't have to have a problem.
Well, no, I said this to my team later, because a lot of people on the team, apart from like two people, had a reason. 50th birthday, 30th anniversary.
Your team was like all the people that went with you up there?
Yeah, I was a group of 12. So he didn't grab two, he grabbed one. Cringe. So a lot of people on my team.
Say that again.
My team.
He will regret this later.
All had a reason except for like two. And I was like, so I told them the same thing that I told this couple. I was like, you don't have to have a reason. It's a pretty cool thing to climb Kilimanjaro. You could just say, I want to do it.
It's
know,
a big rock,
right?
and I want to get to the top. Of
it. You can just say, I want to touch the roof of Africa, they call
there
it.
You go. Hell yeah.
Like,
what a name.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool names for Kilimanjaro. And I was like, so like, you can just say you want to do it. And they were like, yeah, but it's cool that you want to do it for a good reason. I was like, thank you. Yeah. And so then they're like looking at the flight, and somehow it's a husband and wife, and somehow the wife gets the map open, but she has it open in kids mode. And so it's like it's like kids
colorful
games. And so now all of us are looking at like over and being like, what flag is that? You can't mess it up.
Does the 777 have a face on it now?
And so no, it was
this
like
thing's got a lot of pretty colors.
It was like, which animal is this? I was like, find the two, make this little puzzle. And we're all grown ass adults above the age of
grown ass man.
We're all locked in. And she's like trying to pick a flag, and one of them was really easy, and she second kind of guessed herself, because it was like the Tanzanian flag, but then it was like Germany, England, and like Ireland, and it was like, come on, you're from Manchester.
You got it. You got to know this.
I was like, if I know this one, the American who's really bad at geography, and she hesitates, and her husband's like, there's no way you're fucking.
Are you serious right now?
Oh, no. She picks
motherfucker turned over and was like, "Are you dead ass?"
What Pokemon is this? Pikachu.
Fuck. Yeah. So she gets the question right, and I was like, "Whew, is this a bad time to mention that I was stressed too?" So we start chatting the whole time about what we're doing. They say that they're doing a climb that's shorter than my climb. But they have a safari after.
Yeah.
I end up meeting them again later. So not to skip to the end of my story, but I see them again at the final airport whenever we're on the same flight back to Amsterdam.
Damn.
So seriously. I see them again. So I'm sitting down,
Did you sit with them or did you?
Well, I'm sitting down and I have my Coke and I'm waiting for my little food that I got because I'm like, the people from Alteza is the travel group that I used to climb Kilimanjaro. They get you to the airport like super early. They pick you up for your flight like 4 hours early.
Okay.
And then they take you like hour to the airport. So I was there so early for my flight, sitting down getting food.
Yeah.
And someone walks by.
Better crazy early than missing it.
And yeah, which is probably what they're thinking. And so I look up and I see this guy and I double take. I think I recognize him. He double takes, thinks he recognizes me, and I'm trying to figure out how I recognize him because it's been 12 days now since I saw him in a
foreign
flight.
country.
And I was like, I look back at him like confused, and he was like, "Are you?"
Wait a
And I was like,
minute.
"No." And he's like, "Well, that's crazy. You're in the airport." So I shake his hand.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Did you make it to the top?" And I was like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
So we start. I am sitting down. I was like, "Do you guys mind if I sit with you?" Because we were chatting across 2 tables. And I was like, "Do you guys mind if I sit with you and just free this table up for the next guy?" And they were like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, sure." So I sat next to them, we both chatted about our experience climbing.
Hell
we
yeah.
both got on the same flight. Chatted before we got in different seats. I joked about how we should say that I'm. Don't cancel me for this. I joked that we should say because they wanted to sit in like the aisle, but they didn't have the seat.
Okay.
But they like had a window seat. I was like, we should just say that I'm like your autistic brother who needs
Oh my God. Special attention.
who needs help.
Jeez.
And then we can we can probably get somebody to move because the flight attendants will feel bad and think that I'm that.
Yeah.
And then you guys can pick whatever seats you want because
Yeah.
I want the window seat, you want the middle, and you want the aisle, and it
Right.
works out well. And he looked at her and then looked at me and was like, "You've done this before."
Yeah.
He was like, you don't make a plan like that on the spot. You've done
Sneaking
this before.
suspicion.
You look at him in the eyes and say, "I have an emotional breakdown right now."
He
You
was
let
like-
me know.
he was- I was like, I'll fucking cry right now.
right now.
Think you won't. He was
I'll
like,
cause a scene.
he was like, "You've done this before. That's not a plan that you make up without some experience." And I was like,
You don't know me.
And my reply was, "I'm a paramedic. We all have experience acting autistic." So
Damn.
I got this couple. I got one of them on Instagram. The other guy, he like deleted Instagram or whatever.
Yeah.
So I have them, and I was like, "If I'm ever in your area, I'll go and see you." And he was like, "I feel bad for you if you're ever in Manchester, but okay." So
Damn.
yeah, random couple I met. They were really cool. We chatted a bunch. I'll
That's
tell you
so
more
cool.
about what we discussed in the airport whenever we get there. But
Of
because
course.
we talked about obviously our climbing experiences, because they did not pick a big tour group like I did. I picked Alteza,
Yes.
one of the largest tour groups. I 1,000,000,000% recommend it. My guide was Joshua. Ask for him.
Hell yeah.
I would recommend
Shout
it.
out Josh.
Dude, Joshua was such a
Joshua.
Chad. Well, Jackson was also a Chad still.
Okay.
He spoke so many languages too.
Hell yeah.
So they picked a smaller, they actually didn't even pick a tour group. They picked a company that had lots of reviews, but the company just organizes it. So basically when they got there and looked for the company, they were told, "Oh, that company doesn't exist as a climbing company."
Oh.
They just plan the travel and then book an agency out. So you're climbing with like G Adventures or whatever.
Damn.
And they
Oh,
were like,
shit.
"We've never heard of them," so they got
That's
concerned.
kind of scary.
Yeah. So
I'm now in Africa and don't
this
know who
is-
my people are.
This is why I worked with Alteza, the largest
Motherfuckers
climbing
just like,
agency.
all right, this is where you're gonna be. Good luck from there. You're on your own.
Yeah. So, and they also her bag showed up 2 hours before they had to leave because it was delayed. So they had a stressful beginning of their trip.
Yeah, that's scary.
Unlike me, I actually had everything go well.
Wow.
I had to rent a lot of equipment though. I was so unprepared.
Damn.
Really?
Yeah.
I know
so
you had talked about potentially needing to rent some stuff, but
I was going to rent summit gear and I was going to rent a duffel bag because I didn't want to bring my gym bag and hope that it was enough. Glad I
Yeah.
didn't. Their duffel bag was way bigger than I would have brought.
yeah.
And yeah, I was like, I bring I don't really have gloves, so I was gonna bring I was gonna rent their gloves and their mittens. Yeah, I also rented trekking pants and a balaclava and sunscreen, and I still got a sunburn on me. But
Damn.
Yeah.
so
Got a little redneck.
yeah. The
Them
only
rays.
place though, I managed to
Yeah.
make it
Oh
from
Lord, them
top
rays.
to bottom. I managed to make it there with half a sunburn on my hand.
Love it.
I had a long sleeve shirt, so only this got
Of course,
burned.
yeah. Just the top, just the back of the hand.
Yeah.
Quick band.
And the back of my neck, only one day is why it got that burn. Every other day I had
Wow.
it covered. I would wear my sun hat and my hood
Yeah.
every day. One day caused this because I wasn't paying attention and it was cloudy.
Eesh.
I didn't feel the
it-
sun.
yep,
It's
sneaks
called
up on you.
cloud
Oh, it's
burn.
there.
Yeah. Oh, it's there.
Wow.
So yeah, but I get off the flight finally, and we land. At least I can find the picture. We land. you guys aren't gonna see this, listeners, but I'm gonna show them a picture of, if I can scroll back far enough.
He's pulling his phone out.
I'll show them a picture of what we landed, because we straight up landed just in the middle of the street.
Yeah.
The Kilimanjaro airport, you just land in the middle of the road and you cross the street to go into the airport. Yep. So I'm straight up crossing the road.
Oh, hell yeah.
My
Just
God.
going
Is that a Waffle House?
It's kind of like it. So we're straight up just crossing the road. That's the food.
That's crazy work.
So yeah, we just crossed the road and we're
It's like that. That's like that in Alaska.
I'm looking both ways
Damn.
getting off my flight. Like, what? Not expecting this.
Alaska has like big enough roads where like if you also have a bush plane, if you're careful enough with it, you can just like land and take off from like most major highways. It's great.
Well, I know the interstate is meant to be able to have planes
correct,
landed on it. Yeah, I know that, but I didn't expect to.
I'm talking about
I didn't expect to land on the road at the airport.
Yeah. Highway 6 in Tanzania.
I didn't expect,
All right, we're about to merge into traffic on the I-12.
Doesn't have a runway. They just shut the road down. That's what I didn't expect.
So great. Imagine the gridlock traffic. Ah, shit! A plane's coming
dang
in.
It, we got more tourists.
I'm gonna be late for work again.
We got more fucking tourists.
Jesus.
Oh man. So.
Oh man.
I walk over there. I find the person who's holding the little sign that says Ethan on it. And,
Love it.
And they're gonna pick.
Hey, that's me.
They're gonna pick me up.
That's me.
I go to the ATM because I wanted to take out shillings. Unnecessary.
Shillings.
Yeah, Tanzanian shillings.
Oh, is that real?
Yeah.
I thought you were kidding.
Oh, no, I was not joking.
I had to get some shekels.
Get some shekels.
Jesus.
No, Tanzanian shillings. That's what
Okay,
they're called.
well, I'm sorry. I didn't know they were actually called shillings.
It turns out
they
they just accept U.S. dollar everywhere. They're totally cool with it. They actually prefer tourists to pay them in U.S. dollar, probably because they get more money out of it.
That's probably because it's more.
Yeah, 100%.
Worth more.
I learned this brief story in Nepal. There was a guy selling prayer flags, and it was like 500 rupees, which is like 50 cents or something.
Yeah.
10,000 rupees is $10.
Okay.
So he was selling them for a handful of rupees, which is like change
to
locals.
Yeah.
And then whenever like an American tourist would walk by, he would sell them. He would try and see, like, he'd be like, "Oh, these are $5."
Right.
Which is like
$5,000.
Yeah.
In rupees,
1,000% increase in cost.
Yeah.
Because he knew that they would take it home as a souvenir, whereas the locals would buy it as a prayer flag to hang it up for the prayers.
Yeah.
So not as bad, but a couple of times I was like, they were like, "This is going to be $20," and I was like, "Oh, I have shillings," and they'd be like, "Oh, this is going to be like
$2."
They'd be like, "Is it like no?" They'd be like, "This is going to be like 80,000 shillings, $15." And I was like,
Okay.
Gotcha. All right.
Yeah. A couple
I
times.
see how
It
it
wasn't
is.
as big, but it was still noticeable.
But hey, I mean,
No, I mean, players
play
gonna play.
play
Yeah, can't
game,
blame
man.
him.
Players gonna
I'm
play.
not gonna lie,
Motherfuckers are hustling.
American tourists are still like, "That's so cheap."
Yeah.
I still got a shirt.
$20 is $20.
If I-
Cheap because we're fucking rich.
If I had shillings, I probably would have gotten my shirt. I got an I Climb Kilimanjaro shirt in the
Hell
airport.
yeah.
I got the shirt, and it was $10. I guarantee you, but that was cheap. It's cheap for a shirt.
100%.
Shirts that have designs on them are always $20 or more.
Yeah.
Especially
Easy.
if you go somewhere that's like, like a distillery where they're like $40 for a t-shirt.
Oh yeah.
Right.
They got to make a profit on it.
So I expected it to be more, and I guarantee you I could have probably gotten it for $8 or less if I had shillings, but I didn't.
It's okay.
Tap my card.
Oh yeah.
I used all my shillings except for the one bill that I take home, because everywhere I go, I collect the largest bill I can. I put it in a frame. So I got shillings at the ATM. The guy took me to the airport. He's like, "It's going to be a little bit of a ride. The car has Wi-Fi. Here's a water bottle. Like, we're going to go."
Hell yeah.
Right.
And this is from the airport to
the hotel I stayed at, the Aishi Machame Hotel, which was a really nice hotel, but also was a gated hotel that had barbed wire around it and armed guards.
Okay, never mind. Scary.
No, totally cool. Totally cool. But apparently this hotel has a lot of equipment and sees a lot of tourists for Kilimanjaro. Of course. There's a lot of money in it.
Of course.
They also have a 24-hour video surveillance safe,
So you
because
went
this
to,
is owned by the people. I went to the Fort Knox.
I was you went to the most elaborate prison.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
The nicest prison.
So apparently, I don't know if the hotel is owned by Alteza, but I know that it's definitely affiliated with them, because
Of course.
everybody who comes here through Alteza to travel, all of their like rental equipment is at this hotel.
Okay.
So at the very least, it is like
They're in cahoots in some
partially owned by Alteza, which is why they have all the rental equipment there, all the tourists. They have a 24-hour surveillance safe. They have all these things that you keep. So that's probably why there's armed guards at the gate.
Of course.
not what I expected.
Because it's not good for business if you get robbed and stabbed.
They said that they have never had a problem with anything being stolen from here before. And I'm not saying that it's because of the 24-hour surveillance. Maybe it's because of the barbed wire and armed guards.
Right.
That is definitely the biggest deterrent.
And
the fucking dragon they have chained in the dungeon.
And like the armed guards, the armed guards are there to keep an honest thief out because they're being nice to everybody. They're shaking hands with locals walking by. They're being nice. But like,
if there's even a sideways glance,
black. He's reaching. Stop resisting. So I didn't really like notice the weapon, but someone else pointed them out the next time we go to the hotel.
Yeah. It's just like, oh wow,
oh, cool.
Oh,
neato. Yeah. So I get to the
Is
hotel.
that a gun in your pants? Or you just happy I'm here?
Happy to see some
It's a
tourists.
gun.
It's a gun.
I have a gun.
Trust me. I'm also happy to see you, but I also have a gun.
Right. Don't forget the gun.
Never forget the gun.
I'll be happy as long as you remember the gun.
I'm happy, and it's a gun.
My secret third gun.
So
Also my penis.
my pingus. Such grown-ups.
My pingus. Sorry.
So I get to the hotel. I put some shit down and go to sleep. And next day, I get woken up with a phone call, and they're like, "We're gonna get ready. We're gonna do your briefing." So I do a bunch of renting equipment. I was told, and I wasn't surprised that I was told this because I'm pale, ginger, and white.
Of course.
I was told that I'm definitely gonna need sunscreen.
Likely suspect.
Right.
I was told I'm definitely gonna need sunscreen. I was like, "Yeah, I didn't bring any. I'll just buy some for you guys. It's fine." And she was like, "Look, yeah, you're definitely gonna need it. And on summit night, be sure to apply it because even though you're not gonna think you need it because you're going to be." It's going to be dark and just cold. You're not going to really feel the sun burning you.
Yeah, but there's UV.
And she was like, and mind you, we're in Africa, so obviously she's black. But she's like, I forgot to wear sunscreen. And in my head, I was like, okay, isn't that not as big of a deal for black people? Like, I'm not black. I don't really know.
Yeah,
Is that not that big of a deal? She's like, I forgot to put sunscreen on for summit night and summit day. So then on the way back down, I didn't really feel anything. And then whenever I went all the way down, I got home, looked in the mirror, and I said, oh, too black.
Damn.
Oh no!
Jesus.
She said, whoa, too black. I spit out my water. And I was like, dude, too black's pretty funny. And she's like, yeah, so be sure to wear
That's crazy.
Oh my god!
You jump scare yourself.
she had not like broken English, but just enough of an accent that like that was the best way she could describe
The
how she
most
felt.
comedic way of saying
She
that.
said, "Oh, too black." I was like, you know what? Just for
That's
you, I'll put on
funny.
sunscreen.
I'll never forget whenever Dylan and I went to Florida, and he came walking.
Fuck.
That man, he was
Dude.
raw dogging that
Quiffy.
dude. He was raw dogging that sun. He's like, it's fine. I was like, buddy, I don't think it's gonna be
sitting in the
fine.
shade.
He was so
I
fun,
was
yeah.
lounging, man, enjoying the view, the shoreline.
yeah.
It was perfect.
Perfect weather. It was like a little
I
chilly.
wake up the next morning. I'm like, oh,
bro, he comes tiptoeing out of the room, and I'm like, oh, buddy, and he's like, and I was like, Dylan, no, dude. Bro, he was as red as a lobster, dude.
Yeah.
He was cooked, literally.
it was a fucking sausage.
He had
right
he
fresh from the
he
grill.
also had glasses on, so like it was just you could just see like the the raccoon vision. His face was
Had
all
a
red.
fucking mask.
It was so bad.
I had like skiing sunglasses. I
Okay.
got them. They made it to the summit and mostly back down before breaking. So I bought
what?
them for this trip. One of the earpieces broke off, and it was
shit.
definitely replaceable, but it was so cold up there that nobody could replace
Yeah,
it. So
no.
I stopped carrying on the way down.
Damn.
Their watch has ended. I bought them for this trip. It's
yeah,
fine.
you served
Right.
your
I
purpose.
didn't. Yeah, they weren't that
Yeah.
expensive. They made it to the summit
Rest
and
in
back
peace.
down at least most of the way, which is all I needed.
Yeah.
But they were huge. So all I had to do was apply sunscreen like here. That was like it because they were huge. They would cover all this up and had a sun hat.
Yeah.
Glad I agreed to get the sun hat. It's a really cute little hat. I'll show pictures.
It's
actually.
nice. I've been keeping up with your Instagram stories.
Oh, okay, in that case,
it's
yeah,
been
here it
nice.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, here's me and my little
Speaking
sun
of-
hat.
Hell yeah,
And
buddy.
I told
Look
people,
at you.
Fucking-
I told people, I was like, I never wear hats ever,
Yeah.
so I don't know what I'm gonna do
Me
with this
neither.
hat. And half my team was like, honestly, it looks pretty
sick,
natural.
yeah.
They're like, it looks pretty natural. It looks pretty good on you.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And then the cup in this picture is
Yeah.
they gave us all
the
thermoses.
only hat I ever wear is the one you got me.
Yeah, I feel sick. Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Oh man, that's so funny.
They gave us these little thermoses for tea because we drink a shit ton of tea on the mountain.
Hell yeah.
And it has Kilimanjaro. It's a yellow, like coffee mug style thermos.
Enamel white inside.
And it has Kilimanjaro with your name on it, with their like quote, which is like I can't really read it, but it's like when inspiration collides or whatever.
Yeah.
The other side says,
You can do it.
I think it has the height of Kilimanjaro on the other side and Alteza travel on it.
Damn.
So it's a cool little. I didn't expect that. It's a cool little branded mug that we got. They just gave it to us. It's not like
Little swag, yeah.
it's not super expensive, but I'm going to use the hell out of it. It keeps things hot, and it's like a nice little coffee mug. I love it.
And I'm not gonna lie, I love a good mug.
Oh,
Yeah, right. And also, I got water bottles from them. I meant to bring it, but I forgot. But I got a water bottle that's like a liter sized, perfect between my small one and my big one. It's like the perfect size that I would actually use it more.
I just recently got a liter Stanley. I love it.
Yeah. So I got this little it's like a like a thick plastic water bottle from them as well, and it says Alteza on it, and it's a liter, which is great because my other one was 40 ounces, but it was wide and it was too big, and my other one was like 20 ounces, which was just too small because I drink too much water. So this one's perfectly in the middle, and I just got it for traveling. So I was like, hell yeah! So I got 2 of them. Well, I got 2 of them because I had to. You're supposed to drink 4 liters a day while climbing, and let's just say I had to keep 2 filled up, drink them while hiking, and then I get to the camp, fill them up, and try and drink more.
Damn.
Isn't it like a gallon?
4 liters of water? I don't know, it's a lot.
I think it's probably a little bit less than a gallon.
It's definitely
regardless, it's a lot.
So I rented all my equipment and got ready to go. Met my team, and everyone introduced themselves. And the first thing I noticed is that I am by about 10 years.
I think I'm wrong. I'm doing math. I'm trying
to figure out if it's a gallon or not.
Yeah, I think it's like
Just
a
a
half.
quick
I think it's a half
refresher.
gallon, 4 liters. Sorry.
4 liters is a lot. I know that much.
Yeah.
And I met my team, and I realized that by a factor of about 10 years, I am the youngest on the team.
It's a little baby Ethan.
Yeah, we
Climbing the
had
mountain.
3 people. They were all 50 plus, and they were celebrating one of the guys' 50th birthday.
Wow.
We had 1 couple that were 50-ish, and they were celebrating their 30th anniversary.
Damn.
They had kids that were my age. In fact, they had triplets that were my age.
Damn.
We had the Russians.
Oh.
They were 37-ish each.
Okay.
So like about 10 years older than me. And then there was 2 more Russians as well. I don't know how old they were.
Hiking with the Ruskies.
Yeah. And then I don't remember how old the 2 Germans were, but they were both 40
There were a
plus.
couple crowds in there, too.
Yes, we had. My team consisted of 6 Americans.
Whoa! What the fuck?
6 Americans. There's no camera. It's fine.
Oh, yeah, I was playing the camera again.
6 Americans, 4 Russians. And 6 Americans, 4 Russians, 2 Germans.
Okay.
So
In a dream.
yeah, and we were gonna killy the killy. Hell yeah!
It sounded like you were like a platoon.
Whenever Joshua said killy the killy, we got so hyped, dude.
What is that?
So Kilimanjaro is usually shortened as killy.
Okay.
We're gonna kill.
Hell yeah, kill him out.
We're gonna kill it. Yeah. So when we got to the bottom, he was like, "Congratulations, you guys killied the killy." We were all like,
That's so cool.
but
oh, that's so great.
so I met my whole team, and everyone introduced themselves, and I learned later that apparently the Russians, again, I talk fast. The first word they understood out of my mouth,
Get out.
was Louisiana.
No, stop.
And
so how sad.
I said, because I was like second in line. I was like, "Hey everyone, my name's Ethan. I'm 26 from Louisiana." So like the last word I said,
Yeah. They're like,
I know that one.
Louisiana.
was Louisiana. Yeah. And apparently they either Googled it or they just knew that Louisiana was in the South in Louisiana is in America because they didn't ever ask me about it. And I was like, I mentioned that I was doing this while I was doing it, and they went down, and then it got to I think it might have been, it got to somebody, and they were like, I feel bad. Everyone has like a reason, like anniversary in your condition, and I was like, hey, you can just climb the mountain. You don't have to nearly die to want to do it.
Yeah.
Right? That's a me thing. That was whenever I said it again.
Yeah.
And then we got in the bus and started heading up toward the first gate at the like base of the mountain. And they start singing Jambo Bwana, and it's like a welcoming song, and it's all in Swahili.
The initiation song?
Right. Sing it on the way there. And Jambo means like hello. Well, apparently I was told by my bus driver, I don't know for sure, I don't actually speak Swahili.
Yeah.
My bus driver was like, so in Swahili, you say you Jambo to say hello, how are you? And then whenever you're saying I'm good, and you're saying hello back to them, you say si Jambo. But we shorten that in Tanzania, we just say Jambo. He was like, so if someone says Jambo, what do you say back?
Jambo?
And I said Jambo. He was like, hell yeah. And so
I love that. It's easy.
yeah,
Right.
and
You
so
say good, I say good.
he was like, do you know any
Good?
Yeah.
Good.
He was like, do you know any other Swahili? And I was like, no. Yes, I know like one word, but it's not even a use here.
Of course.
And so again, I can swear in so many languages.
I can
so-
offend somebody.
Yeah, and so he was like, okay, well, Rafiki
Get out.
is friend.
Damn.
Okay.
I was like, he's like, so if you know somebody on the mountain, you can say Jambo Rafiki. You're saying hello, friend. I was like, oh, cool.
At first, I'm not even gonna lie. I thought you were introducing a new character named Rafiki into the story. I thought you were saying my man Rafiki, and I was
Wow.
like, "Get out! You met Rafiki."
Ain't no damn way.
It gets better. It
No,
gets
stop! don't give me the huh.
It
Say
gets
again.
better.
Come on.
The amount of Lion King references that happen
Bruh,
in this trip
stop.
are amazing.
Jesus.
Turns out the people in Tanzania love Lion King.
Of course, it's a great movie.
It's great, and it also apparently is extremely accurate for a lot of Swahili phrases and
Wow.
things. Like
Hell yeah.
Rafiki being friend.
Love that,
Simba, I'm pretty sure just means lion. I know this because I was called this.
bro. Get out!
We'll get to that later.
Oh my god! All this and more to come.
So he says, thank you, I believe is caribou. And he was like, that's how you say thank you. Now, what would you say in reply to thank you? And I was like, I just told you I don't speak Swahili, man. I don't know. And he says, and my driver, while driving to my hotel, says, oh, come on. It means no worries. You should know this.
Bro, what?
And I was like, and I said, no shit, Hakuna
Oh
Matata is a
my
real
God.
word. And he says, yes, it means no worries. That's what you say when someone says thank you. As it turns out, Hakuna Matata is Swahili. It does mean no worries, and it's
Wow.
often said. Very often said.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't know that was real.
Yeah.
I
You're
don't,
like-
I don't
you're
know
like-
if you knew this, but it's also my problem-free philosophy.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
my
yeah,
problem-free philosophy.
It means no worries for the rest of your days, man.
So yeah, it is definitely a phrase that's
That's
said
wild.
rather a lot.
Wow.
And
He's
I was
like, come on, you know this. He's
Never
like,
fucking
no.
knew.
I was like,
He's
oh shit.
It's like, that's real?
So we ended up saying it a lot. So what we
Of
got our
course.
first picture with our team, and I'll see if I can find it maybe because the first picture of the team is there. It is. So while he's taking this picture, here's me and my squad. I'll pass it around to you guys.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's all 12 of us.
Look at the disciples.
Yeah. So
The monks.
that's all 12 of us. You can see. I think the Russians are on the.
I see the Russians
yeah.
already.
Couldn't fucking miss them.
Yeah, that man's named Anton.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and then the Germans, Martin and Martina.
Love that.
They're by the way. It's fun.
Wait, no, really?
So Martin and Martina are not related. They are just coworkers.
Hell yeah.
That's it. They're
I
just,
love that.
They're just coworkers for 20 years. His
Come
first.
on, Ethan, your eyes are closed.
I didn't have other pictures. That's just the one that I showed you. Come on, Ethan.
Hey, don't bash the only
You know
Irishman
what?
there.
I'm gonna. So apparently, Martin's first name is something different.
Okay.
but it's like York or something, but he doesn't go by that because it's like a dad. His dad passed the name down. He doesn't really know his dad. He prefers Martin.
Okay, thank
So Martin and Martina is
Get
what
it?
they're called. Yeah.
I don't think
and,
I'll be able to get over that. That's fucking funny.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So okay, they're
We had two coworkers, Daniel and Danielle.
yeah. These two
Yeah.
are Martin and
hell
Martina,
yeah.
Martina apparently lives in South Africa and
damn.
like is doing things with Volkswagen there and is trying to help out. Like she's trying to get politically involved and help establish better roads or something. She's trying to help out in Africa. Really cool. But her plan was because her contract living there is almost up. She wanted to before she has to leave. While she lives in South Africa, she wanted to climb Kilimanjaro. Martin did it because he's just a marathon runner and he thought it would be a fun challenge. And he kicked ass at it.
Hey,
He made it
come
look
on.
easy,
Nice.
even though he's twice my age.
There you go.
Everyone made it look easy because I was the only one who had real problems. And I get that I have a condition.
Right.
And I get that I also come from literally below sea level.
Of course.
But still, everyone here was like 50 and they all acclimated way faster than I did. And
Really?
did not have the problems. I legitimately, unironically, was the one who had the hardest time with the pace on this trip.
Damn.
Interesting.
Which is kind of funny because the whole reason I'm doing this is to raise awareness for my condition. And it became clear to me that this, while still definitely doable,
Yeah.
would be difficult for me, even compared to people who are significantly older than me. It's also worth mentioning most of them were like marathon runners and
right.
mountain climbers and
Right.
probably trained more than I did for
Yeah.
this. But still, I was impressed by how difficult this would end up being for
If
me.
I may quote one of your one of your updates,
Which-
at one point you said, I have no business being up this high. This shit's for the plane.
Bruh. Okay, that was the one. Did you see my comment?
I camped. Yes, I camped at 15,000 feet. We'll get to that a little bit later. And Ian said that apparently the max cruising altitude for a small Cessna is like 14,000 feet.
Yes.
And the actual height of Kilimanjaro is 5,895 meters, which is about 19,300 feet.
Yeah.
So I ended up going significantly higher than that too, walking at nearly 20,000 feet.
He had posted something about that saying like this shit's for the
for plane while walking up here.
And the funny thing is, like I said, I posted like fun fact. I was like, funny enough, the like I think it's like for a Cessna 147 or something like that, which is like a regular Cessna small plane, like single engine, it's between 10 to 14,000, like max cruising altitude. I was like, the funny thing is, like you're saying that
fun fact,
it's for the
10,000
planes.
feet. I got there the first day.
I was like, bro, you're already like you're above small plane distance.
Yeah,
and
funny. Whenever the podcast over, I'll show you guys more pictures. Because there's quite a few pictures of our campsites being settled just above the clouds. So you actually, you'll see that like the edge of like the cliff. There's not a lot of super sheer cliffs, but they're sheer enough that it looks kind of like a cliff.
Yeah.
And instead of seeing the cliff go down, you just see the clouds hit the edge of our camp.
Bruh.
There's a couple of really good pictures of the fact that I'm actually just sitting above the clouds.
You have entered
struggling
the
to
realm
feckin' breathe. So, So
Bruh. Can I ask you one question before we get too deep? There was one picture you had where they actually put you on nasal cannulas for oxygen.
Yeah, I'll get to that later. That's the last day. The absolute last day.
I want to see that picture again because I didn't get a good look at it. But like there was one where you looked kind of rough. Like you look like you've been through it, and like your other tour guys are like they're totally fine. They're like yay, and Ethan's over here like yeah, dude. I was like you look good, but at the same time like the other guys look normal, and you're just like
part of it is because my face because of the cold wind on my face, my cheeks are like really red, and I'm on oxygen.
I just thought the first one I
we'll
saw
talk more about them later. They're both Chads, and I tipped them very well.
Of course.
That's Jackson and Ernest. Jackson is the guide, and Ernest is a summit assistant who is helping me and is also a guide in training.
Hell yeah.
And we'll talk about them later because they... I physically carried myself to the summit, but they emotionally carried me to the summit.
That's sick.
I needed their help, and they were the most amazing people ever.
That's awesome.
So, we
that's the most metal shit.
Yeah, so we meet our group. We're all chatting about things. Get our water bottles filled and go over.
I'm sorry.
What?
I may not be able to carry the ring, but I can carry you, Mr. Frodo.
Luckily, they didn't have to carry me. My 2 feet.
Yeah.
Which this becomes an important thing later as well. Is that I wanted to make sure that not only did I do it as authentically as possible with as little help as really feasibly possible, but I wanted to make sure that I made it all the way to the top. I felt like I wasn't proving my point to whoever I had to prove it to myself, to whoever's in the hospital. I wasn't proving my point if I didn't make it to the summit. This becomes important later.
Okay.
So, but I meet my whole team. We get in the bus. They sing, and we go to the first gate. We eat some lunch. We see our little mugs. I get the hat because I was told it's going to help keep the sun off of you. Yes. And I'm very happy I did. I wore it basically every single day. It still needs to be washed. It's a little dusty. It's a lot dusty.
Damn.
As it turns out, there's the rainforest part. The first day was extremely wet and muddy, and we got rained on. The second day was dusty, but then we got rained on again. And then that was whenever I posted a joke that was like, "Whoever's blessing the rains down in Africa, you can fucking stop."
Cut it out.
By the way, I should say this now. I'm not going to try to out you on the podcast, but I know we said this before, but I have your mom on Facebook. Randomly, she'll post something or I'll post something.
She's fairly active.
Yeah, so like she'll post something of like a family pic, and I'll comment on it, or vice versa.
Right.
So she kept up with my
fun
travels.
Facebook stuff.
So fun fact, probably you're learning about a lot of this now. Your mom probably knows all of these stories.
Oh yeah, no, she gave me a couple of
She did, yeah.
I've been over for that past couple of days.
I thought it was very funny though.
Have you seen Nathan? Yes, I have, Mom. Yes, I have.
She was among a few other people, but she was among the people who, whenever I posted, because every once in a while, one of the camps that we stopped at would have Wi-Fi. It was just kind of shit. And I would post an update.
Of course.
And so when I did post an update, I think it's also because somebody on our team paid extra to like have the satellite Wi-Fi or whatever, what's it called, Starlink.
Yeah. Oh,
Starlink. Hell yeah.
I think they paid to make sure that they had it for work reasons, and so every once in a while I could just tap into it. But I posted, I was like, "Whoever's blessing the rains down in Africa, you can stop." And a bunch of my friends thought it was hilarious.
Of course.
Your mom was one person who was like, great use of lyrics, by the way.
Yeah.
So there you go. I was like, yeah, I got Dylan's mom supporting me. I can't fail now.
Love that.
I'm fucking invincible.
I can't fail her now.
So, but yeah, it's like the first day we go up, and it's worth mentioning. Whenever I was in Xining, which is in China, I went to some temple.
Different trip.
Yeah, I mean, this was ages ago.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Just
I went to
clarifying.
some temple that was probably, I was told, because I climbed a set of stairs that wasn't that high or difficult, and I was out of breath, and I made a joke to our tour guide. I was like, man, I'm out of fucking shape.
Yeah.
And he was like, nah, you're just high up, and you came from Louisiana.
Yeah.
I was like, well, how high up are you? He was like, probably 9,000 feet or so.
Holy
Altitude
shit.
differential will
8,000?
fucking
Yeah.
hit you.
I'm not sure. I think he said it was 8 or 9, something like that. We were pretty high up. The point is, though, that Xining's fairly higher up in elevation.
Below
anyway.
0 to positive 8,000 is.
Yeah, and so he was like, that's probably why you're out of breath. I was like, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So on the first day, we get driven up to like the base of the mountain, which is like 7,000 or 8,000 feet.
Okay.
And then we
You're
hike.
starting off there.
We hike to the first camp, which was at like 10,000 feet.
Yeah.
So on the first day, I got higher than I've ever been.
Yeah, right.
I was
Literally.
higher than I've ever been.
And then you climbed the mountain.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then I had to climb the mountain, which probably also contributed to why this is difficult.
Yeah.
But I also wore the wrong shoes. I packed in my duffel bag the hiking boots, so I wore my shoes that I brought here, these red ones. And these are nice shoes. These are Kizik's, but you can see the bottom of them is totally flat.
Jeez.
Oh, no.
These are meant for like running on treadmills or in the street
Yeah.
and for style.
Flat ground.
Right.
They're meant to be comfortable because they have the Kizik slip-on thing.
Yeah.
Right? You don't have to do anything with them. They're great. I love them. Not what I was trying to wear though, and I didn't think it through that we would
Trekking and climbing's a different
we would be
story.
putting shit in duffel bags.
Yeah.
And the duffel bags have like your spare clothes
Okay.
and your summit gear that you're not going to use until summit night.
Of course.
And your sleeping bag. All of that is carried by a porter. That someone just takes that and carries it. You carry the rest of your clothes and your water bottles and any important equipment on your back, which is why I bought a hiking backpack.
All right.
So you carry a bunch of shit on your back, but the rest of it's carried by porters who make this shit look feckin' easy.
Oh, of course. I've seen videos of them. They're wild.
They're so fast.
They're so bad, and they just
fucking insane.
carry
and
shit.
you also don't carry a tent because the tents are set up at each campsite. So realistically, I mean, the whole point is I'm just hiking with a backpack. I'm not doing a lot of the crazy difficult stuff. I'm just hiking up this mountain. Yes. Still difficult, by the way.
Right.
Still took me 6 days. I mean, that's part of why the Lemosha route is so famous is because it's a 6-day climb. It has a very high success rate.
Okay.
It also is a climb that starts at like the closest to the bottom.
Okay.
Because the other routes, they will take you to, they'll drive you to a camp a little bit higher.
Okay.
And you basically acclimate there and then go up. And so I picked this one because A, high success rate.
Yep.
Part of why the success rate's high is because you have more time to acclimate, and it
course.
goes to a separate point called Cathedral Point. That one kicked my ass. Cathedral Point was cool. It was cute. It took pictures. We gave Nathan shit because he was the one who convinced the leader to do Cathedral Point.
Yeah.
And we got up there, and half of it was cloudy. So the whole point of Cathedral Point is to get pictures.
Of course.
And it was cloudy, and we were
And
like,
pray.
Nathan will never forgive you.
I'll never forgive you.
But it was actually worth it. But still,
Yeah.
so all of this is just more time to acclimate.
Of course.
And so I was like, perfect. I want that. So I picked this route because I knew it would be the one that gives me the most authentic, ground to summit experience. It would be the longest for more time to acclimate and had the highest success rate. And I also just heard that it was the nicest.
Yeah.
I heard that you pass some really nice views. Heard some reviews that said it was great.
I imagine they call it Cathedral Point because you get to check in with God before you go up.
Yeah, I definitely had to
I'm
check
about
in
to
with
start climbing this
check
shit.
in
Can
with
you,
God.
Like,
There was a
just give me a boost.
Hey
or
man,
something?
we're a few days into starting to get real, and I can't breathe. Hey God,
This shit hurts, man.
Hey God, me again.
If you give me a couple extra breaths, that'd be nice.
Yeah. If you want to do me a favor and pass some oxygen down this way,
A nice breeze.
Right.
I'm having a hard time. Something about Boyle's Law. I
Yeah.
can't. So yeah, So
Hey, God. I'm having ass issues again.
I did
And I'm
one
on a
day.
mountain.
I had to take Imodium, but luckily that shit works. So but I did have some symptoms, but it was very clear to me after dealing with my condition for a long time that the symptoms I had were very clearly altitude related.
Interesting.
So as it turns out, gastric malabsorption is a side effect of high altitudes.
Okay.
Your body basically with the pressures is not having as good of a time absorbing foods,
Oof.
which I already have a condition with. So it's not necessarily surprising that was the only symptom I had of altitude sickness.
Right.
Yeah.
I never got, apart from the very last stretch, I never got shortness of breath, never had headaches, which are the most common symptom of altitude sickness.
Right.
Many people on the team even got headaches. Never had stomach pain, never had nausea or vomiting, just had some tummy issues once and told him, hey, if I'm going to get enough sleep, I can't keep awake to the bathroom. Took medicine for it, went away. That's a plus.
Yeah,
Managed to make it from top to bottom of this mountain without hurting myself, like at all.
Absolute
Like it all.
miracle.
I just looked at a bruise on my arm. That was the way down. Don't worry about it. So,
Should I mention the bruise all over your face?
No.
Oh wait, that's your fucking beard.
Fucking bitch. So so the first day we get up there, we go to the first camp, and we're already at a higher elevation than I have ever been to.
Of course.
And I told the team, foolishly, that I thought the first day was going to be one of the more difficult ones. Well, I thought it was going to be the most difficult for me to finally get used to acclimating because I wasn't used to it.
Motherfucker said, just you wait.
And they were like, no, I think some nights going to be worse. And I was like, I think some nights going to be mental. I was right about that. It's mostly mental. And I was like,
interesting.
But I think that getting used to acclimating, this is going to be it. I was ill prepared for the second night. I would argue that I had the hardest time with a combination of hiking, the difficulty of the hike because of the rain, and the altitude. I think that the second night was the most physically difficult for me, and that includes summit night, which I needed to at one point be put on oxygen for.
Yeah.
Because summit night was, again, mostly mental and hiking, but I had acclimated enough at that point that even though it was difficult to catch my breath at times, that was the only problem. Getting to the second camp, which was already like 13,000 feet, well above where I've ever been.
Yeah.
And not being able to sleep as well because my body's not used to all this. The second night was the most difficult for me. And I got my ass kicked by that one. And I texted Mom whenever I got up there. No, I think it was like the third. I texted Mom a few days later. And I was like, I'm still alive. Mountain's kicking my ass. Whatever. And then I realized that mountain's kicking my ass sounds bad. So I added a lol at the end so that she wouldn't think I was
Right.
Which is funny because I managed to make both of my parents think that I was dead at some point on this trip.
Jesus.
Fun fact.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So my mom, because whenever I posted the picture of me being on oxygen,
Yes.
my mom saw that post and I didn't text anything to her.
Freaked out.
So she just sent back 3 words, "Are you okay?" And then I tried to reply and my phone died.
Oh no!
Holy shit.
Yeah. And then Dad, it's a really funny story what happened with Dad. I can't wait to get to it. So we hike up a few times, and I actually skipped a little bit. I want to talk about this. The local people are called like the Chaga tribe.
Yeah.
They're known for cultivating bananas around the mountain, cultivating banana trees and all that. They're known for banana bread that slaps so god dang hard.
Yeah.
It's been too long.
The local bananas.
Before we get too far into this, I'm not sure how much more you have. I just want you to know we've already filled up an hour.
I know.
Fuck.
Yeah, this is gonna be a long one.
So also, but what I'm curious about is, do you think you have a whole second hour worth of stuff?
I mean, maybe, I don't know.
I'd say
Because
so.
I was gonna say,
it feels
do you
like
wanna-
we're only about halfway through.
Do you want to separate this into 2 parts?
That's more up to you because you know more about the actual podcasting side of this. But I
Maybe
mean,
you
we can pause here and get in.
We can go for as long as you want. Literally.
Here's what we can do, chat.
But do you want-
chat? We can if we have to edit this into 2 parts, he'll do it in post.
Right.
But what I'm saying is, no
It doesn't
shit,
answer the
Sherlock.
question.
But what I'm saying is, you can, if you're okay with having your whole episode be one
I'm cool
continuous
with
2 hour
one
thing,
long
okay.
episode's probably fine. It's
Perfect.
not a big
That's
deal.
all I want.
Because I have
Alright.
other ideas for other Bout Nothing episodes that we'll
Okay.
do.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I don't.
That's all I wanted to say because
So
obviously
special.
we just crossed over
Chat,
that.
don't worry, I'm on your team. So
Continue.
but yeah,
I may get a second beer.
it's fine.
I might get a third.
I told you to grab 2.
Shut up.
It's gonna be here for a while.
Shut up.
So they're known for this. The banana bread slapped.
Of course.
The local bananas were so good.
If you are known for your bananas, if you are not also known for your banana bread, I mean, come on, man.
And so
These bananas.
I heard from a friend who climbed. He was like, "Yeah, there's this local beer. It's like a banana beer."
Oh,
and he was
bruh.
like, "Yeah, it's not good."
Damn.
He was like, but this Kilimanjaro beer is pretty good. And their like slogan is, if you can't climb it, drink it, which is funny.
Wow.
That's
if
funny.
it's not synthesized from a fruit, it better be synthesized from a fucking rock.
Yeah.
And so we actually were given at the bottom, we were given by Alteza the Kilimanjaro beer. So I actually tried it immediately.
Oh, hell yeah.
Was it good?
Yes, I enjoyed it. I actually had it quite a few times because like every bar locally had it, obviously.
Of course.
Did it taste like a rock?
Sure. So
rock.
What do you mean, sure?
So
I'm
after the
drinking
guy,
a beer right now. I want to know.
after the guy is taught me the Swahili,
Yeah.
he mentioned that the Tonga people were known for bananas, and I was like, oh, that's cool. I heard about this like banana beer. I was told not to try it because it's not that good, and he laughed.
Yeah.
And he was like, they also have banana wine. They're known for doing weird things with bananas. They have bananas that are savory, bananas that are sweet. They have banana wine. I said, oh.
I mean, shit,
My
if that's
quote
all
was-
you got.
I said, oh, banana wine. That's interesting. And he said, yeah, don't try it.
Exactly like that.
He said,
Don't try it.
Don't try it.
Yeah, I can't get the accent right, but the way he said, don't try it was so funny.
So
And I was-
earnest.
I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, you know what? Yes,
All
sir.
right, I'll
But
take your word
also,
for it.
now that you said don't try it, I kind of want to. And he was like,
I warned you.
yeah, right.
Don't
So
blame me.
I
the most honest.
don't
Don't
try
do
it.
it.
Dude, do not do
I was
it.
like, oh, it's interesting. He was like, yeah, don't try it. Dude, so
That's
funny.
fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
Holy shit.
So, but back to the mountain.
Yeah.
We make it to the first camp, and after like the second day of hiking, not as much happens. We just hike and sort of chat. And
Yeah.
I get my ass kicked a little bit of these hikes. After the third day, I tell Anton, the Russian, that something they're saying in Russian, and it might be them referring to him as Anton, which sounds like Ethan with their accent, but
Yeah.
something they're saying in Russian sounds like my name. So I keep turning around thinking they're
Yeah.
talking to me and needing me, but they end up not doing it. And he says, is okay. I call you Louisiana from now on. And I was like,
It is the only word I know.
Louisiana.
and I was like, Anton, you don't have to do that. And he says, it's okay, Louisiana.
I will do this for you.
That is the fucking best.
I got you.
Holy shit.
And I was like, okay. So I proceed to be called Louisiana for
Yes.
the remainder of the climb.
Of course.
And at
by
one-
everyone or just the Russians?
by just Anton.
I love it.
Anton, his wife, and the other Russians.
Hey.
So yeah, just the
Yeah.
So
That's
at one
perfect.
point we're climbing up to this cathedral point
so
thing,
funny.
and I'm starting to get my ass kicked a little bit.
Okay.
All right. The team goes ahead. I hang back with one of the guides a little bit because I need to catch my breath and slow down. And I make it up there, and Anton's up there, and they have this like little tea break because obviously there's some porter who just beats us up there, sets up a
course.
table and makes tea, and
Oh,
is
yeah.
like, take a break.
He's
eat
speedrunning,
cakes.
literally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
eat the cakes. They'll give you energy. Here's tea. Oh, Ethan, you're back. Asbod comes over here. Ethan, you're back. Green tea, 1 sugar. God dang, man. How do you remember that?
Now that you remember it, but it's already prepared.
Yeah. Well, no, he took my mug and then prepared it. But he was like,
But
green,
regardless,
green tea, 1 sugar? Yeah, man.
Wow.
God dang. Edward and Asbod slap, bro. They would wake you up in the morning and be like, you want tea? Green tea, 1 sugar?
Yes, sir.
Please.
Bet your ass I want green tea, 1 sugar.
I need it.
If you're making it, yes.
So so I get up there and I'm still like, I catch
Was
my
it
breath.
really that bad?
Oh yeah. No, well, also this is a part where like hiking up basically like stairs of rocks.
Yeah.
And we're at like 50,000 feet.
Damn.
So like this was a tougher part
Yeah,
of the
yeah,
hike,
yeah.
and we
It gets a
also
little thin.
we often would hike for 6 hours. So
Oh my
I
God.
mean, as if even if it was completely flat, your legs would be tired.
Yeah.
The elevation and all that would make me. So I'm getting to
You
cathedral.
work in this mountain part time.
So,
He's clocking in.
oh, yeah. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if either you saw my Snapchat story, but I calculated it between up and down over the course of 8 days. I climbed nearly 100 kilometers.
Holy
I don't know what that
damn.
is in miles, but in kilometers, that's what we did.
You
But
do the math.
That should be like 60 miles or something stupid
see.
like that.
You said 100 kilometers? How many?
100 kilometers. I mean, I don't know exactly. It's a little under 100, but that's the
Just
rounded
make a
up
Bill
number.
Nye segment out of it.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
So I climbed.
62 miles.
Yeah. So I probably
Now you know.
I know that I climbed between the up and down 50 plus miles.
Woof.
So
Crazy.
So I get to the top and I'm like trying to catch my breath, like just out of breath. And Anton turns around and sees me, and I'm only like 5 minutes behind the rest of the group. And he puts his hands up and says, Louisiana, you made it. And the rest of the team's like, yeah. And I'm like, thanks
Guys,
everyone.
please.
And he walks over, and while I'm still catching my breath, he says, Louisiana. And I look at him. I said, yes. And he says,
yes, Anton.
salami. And offers me this
Where'd you get the cured meats, man?
the Russian I'm pretty sure
Have a
Anton.
sausage.
I'm pretty sure Anton didn't bring clothes. He just brought snacks,
Hell
bro.
yeah.
God.
And so he offers me this salami. I'm like, Anton, I'm still.
Hey,
And I'd take the little piece. It's like a little small salami thing. I said,
You can't refuse.
all right. And I tried it, and it was good as shit. Of
course
I
it
was
was.
like, all right, I'm going to get my tea. Thanks, Anton. I appreciate it.
So pick me up.
And he was like, great, salami now.
No.
We make it to the top. Jägermeister.
Get out.
And I was like, I was trying to catch my breath, and I'm like,
Man.
hell yeah. Let's go.
Let's freaking do this shit.
Dude, nothing would motivate me more.
Yeah, I know, right? The
There's
Russian,
nothing
the
like
Russian man offered me Jägermeister.
There is nothing like a Russian man just flinging back
Chad like that.
Jägermeister, dude.
Uh-huh.
I've seen videos online. I've
Top
seen
of
the
a fucking mountain. You're damn
Yeah.
right. I'm
Hell
gonna
yeah.
be
As
there.
far as I'm aware, I don't know for certain, but as far as I'm aware, him and a few others did actually drink Jägermeister at the summit. I made it there like 30 minutes behind them.
Wow.
And so whenever I was going up, they were coming back down
Yeah.
right at the very end, which was cool because that's not as big of a delay as I thought it would be. I thought it would be much farther behind.
Yeah.
But I don't actually know if they did. I do know that Joshua told him he could have a little bit, which means I know that if I did bring my whiskey, I would have been allowed to do that. I just would not have done it.
I'm sure they have their reasons, but how can you not just take like a celebratory swig at the top of a fucking mountain?
Right.
Well,
yeah.
you say that, but I guess we're gonna find out why.
Well, I mean, I felt like buns, so
Yeah,
that's
right.
why I wouldn't
Yeah.
have done it. If I did bring it, I wouldn't have done it.
Ethan
But-
takes one sip.
Yeah. So, but if someone who is in better shape than me, you take a sip, especially because you're going to
Yeah.
go right back down. You can
She'd
do
be
it.
Jaeger on my Meister till like.
So, but part of it also is that Alteza and naturally the government don't condone you doing
no, of
that
course
because it's
not.
not safe.
Yeah.
100%.
Whether you would survive, but
But on the off chance you don't.
yeah. So,
It's
but
the difference
not
between
gonna make,
becoming an exception and the rule.
yeah, or it's not going to make your acclimation any easier. Even though you're
Right.
going back down.
Right.
So they don't condone it. That doesn't mean you can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like at the top, Jägermeister.
Yeah.
I'm like, hell yeah, Anton, let's go.
Okay.
Had to make good on it.
So we make it to Cathedral Point, take some pictures, and I'm still fighting for my life. And we go back down to the camp, and while the next day, it's I'm like slowing back a little bit. It was after Barranco Wall that he offered me the salami, not
Okay.
Cathedral Point. So basically, after an even more difficult climb, is when he
Okay,
offers
okay.
me- yeah.
Salami?
So yeah, it was the way he did it. The way he's like, Louisiana. I'm like, hi, Anton. Salami.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna. I wanted to be like Anton. Now's not the time. And give me a
I have to.
Now's always the
Yeah,
time for
have to.
salami.
Also, because he kept saying like, I guess compared to a lot of people, he was like, at one point during lunch, I called him out and I was like, yeah, Anton just offered me salami at the top of Barranco Wall while I'm fighting for my life. And everyone's laughing. And he's like, what? Look at him. And he flexes and says, he's a big guy, needs more meat. And he's like, they're not giving us more meat. And he flexes again. He's like, and I'm like,
my man needs his protein.
I was like,
keeping him in.
I'm like, thank you. He's
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
he's,
yeah.
like he's flexing. He's like, needs more meat. We didn't have enough meat. And I'm like, God, it was so funny.
Anton single-handedly feeding the troops.
Yeah, right. Dude, morale skyrocketed because do you want to know what he did after the Barranco Wall?
Okay, what?
This is becoming a story just about Anton. Other people were very funny, and
Of
I enjoyed a
course.
lot of things on this trip,
right.
but Anton's stories are legendary.
Something special
Because
about that motherfucker.
while after Barranco Wall we're hiking, and I'm trying to keep up with the group and catch my breath, he says, so directly after the salami thing, he says while I'm like sitting down and drinking my tea with the two of the Germans and two other Americans in earshot. So
Okay.
luckily the Americans could make jokes about this with me.
Mm-hmm.
If it was just the Germans, they probably wouldn't have made as many jokes because he says, "You're going to make it to the top, Louisiana. You're strong." I'm like, that's my plan. I
Yeah.
plan to do that. And he's like,
Not
"You're going to
backing
top, Louisiana. You're going to do this for America." And I was like, I
You know what?
I was like, kinda
Hell yeah.
for America. Well, I was like, kinda, but I'm also not the first American who's going to make it to the summit. This is different. And he says,
No,
"You,
no.
Louisiana,
Yeah.
you will make America great again."
Okay. I know I made a joke about it before, but I'm actually fucking invincible.
Right.
You know what?
And I was sipping tea when he said make it go. So I, for the first time in my life, spit that shit out, dude. Spit that tea out. And I was like, I can't. And then one of the guys, I think it was Reza or Justin, one of the Americans was like, that might be the only acceptable use of that phrase that I've ever heard. Like, you know what, Ethan? I was like, what am I? I'm the president now?
Depending on me.
It's my job now to make it. Dude, the way he said it was so funny. And then while we're hiking,
Who knew? Anton, a true patriot.
and I don't know if he had this song just downloaded on his phone or if he intentionally downloaded the day before to plan this out.
Oh, that bitch is locked in.
Because I don't know
so locked in.
but no matter which one it is, it's inspiring that he put this much effort into it
Hey.
because he's a Russian. Because while we're hiking next time, he plays Star Spangled Banner.
Get out. Get out.
And he's like, dude, he says, "This is for you, Louisiana."
Bro.
He's playing Star Spangled Banner. Oh, say. and it's epic. And I can't help but catch my breath and be like, fuck
You know
yeah.
what?
I have to.
I gotta lock in.
Invigoration has filled me.
A Russian is playing my anthem.
Exactly. Even the Russian guy put the effort because there's no way he just has this on his phone,
No.
right?
Right.
He must have downloaded
He did that
this
for me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I'm locked in, bro.
Oh
Bro,
my
yeah.
God.
I can't fail now. Not in
cannot
these,
falter.
Not in these conditions.
No.
God.
Damn, that's
And
so
that
funny.
was like the easier part of the hike.
I love how Ethan and Anton are single-handedly bridging the gap between Russian
no,
and
I was
English.
he told me he would help me with a visa. I invited me to Russia.
Bruh,
I knew
get
this
out.
thing.
Hilarious.
And I
The
would,
world is healing one step at a time.
yeah. Well, and it's worth. I guess we'll talk about it toward the end again, maybe later. But we did talk about how, like with the current political climate of Russia and the things that are going
Yes.
on, that was a very interesting, unexpected side effect for me and also the Germans on the team and a lot of the Americans, that like having a face to the average Russian person who does not condone the actions of Russia right now.
Yeah.
I won't, I guess, go into more detail on it too much because I don't know if it's for my sake or for their sake about the Russian government. I don't know what it's like for them to not approve of them. But essentially, all the Russians on this group were not exactly in favor of what's happening.
Right.
And so it was nice to see these Anton and Eugenia are just a nice Christian couple who like to travel and are very, very nice and invite people over. And they said that they'll help me with the visa and it shouldn't be a problem, even in spite of the climate, if they help me with the visa.
Yeah.
Or if I'm even in a country close to Russia, that because it's not far and they make good money, they'll come and see me.
Wow.
So like really nice people. Like it was a very interesting side effect that me and Martin and Martina kind of talked about, is like putting a face to Russia, because everything you hear about is all bad stuff.
Yeah.
And you see the average Russian person who's just really
part,
nice and
There's a
welcoming
dude.
and is not really happy with what's happening. Right? Like
a dude with salami and a dream.
yeah, right. Yeah, very supportive. Yeah. So
yeah.
I
Like,
it was
damn,
very
dude.
unexpected side effect of this trip was having that happen and
Bridging
making
cultural
friends in
barriers.
Russia.
Yeah. That's sick, dude.
So yeah, so he plays.
Shout out to freaking Anton.
He,
dude.
yeah, He plays Star Spangled Banner.
It's
At
so
one point,
good.
one of my Instagram posts was his post, and it was all of our names, but the names were in Russian, and he tagged me in it because I
saw
got him
that.
on Instagram.
Yes.
And I just posted, and I said, "Thanks, Anton. I have no idea what this says."
Right.
And he came up to me later. He was like, "That's just our names in Russian." I was like, "I figured. I just thought it was funny if I did now have a Russian guy, and I can just put his story on my story and be like, "Thanks. I don't know what this says."
Right.
Um,
Appreciate it.
Yeah. So he he plays Star Spangled Banner. We start hiking up, and
Amazing.
he
What a guy.
the next thing I've written down is actually him teaching me something at the very bottom of the mountain. So the rest of the story is now us climbing. So
Okay.
Barranco Wall was the one that I posted. I posted a picture of it, and I said that today we conquered the Barranco Wall, which is a more difficult and the most, air quotes, technical part of Kilimanjaro, but doesn't require any equipment, so it's not considered a technical climb.
Right.
It is still borderline rock climbing and bouldering.
Yeah. I can
And
imagine with the
I posted
wall.
a reel on my Instagram that was like that part of the hike where you have to lock in, or you become 1998 to 2025.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Barranco Wall.
I looked at it. It's crazy. It looks pretty.
There's a rock called the Kissing Rock, and you have to shimmy along it because behind you is a sheer cliff.
Bruh.
They call it the Kissing Rock because
you
your
gotta
face
kiss
is pushed
that
up-
shit. Yeah.
Jesus.
and we all joked around because one of the guys kept saying like he's gonna kiss the rock. He named it Sheila, and I was like, I hope you guys know that I kissed the rock first because they put me in the front of the group because I was the
Right.
slowest.
Yeah.
Not only because of acclimation, because I was scared.
Okay.
And
Justifiable.
I was like, I hope you guys know I kissed the rock. So you guys all got my my sloppy seconds.
Yeah.
I gave a little tongue. That's actually what Clarence said. Clarence was like, I gave a little bit of tongue. I hope you guys don't mind.
You guys don't mind.
What else did you do?
And then I freaked it. So,
He's pulling his cock out.
so we after Bronco Wall, I posted that, and I told Mom, I texted her again.
Yeah.
It was like, I'm alive.
Made
And
it.
she was like, I Googled Bronco Wall. And I was like,
Why?
I replied, the exact thing I told you not to do, question mark. I was like, yeah, I don't know how I feel about that, but I guess you're alive. It's cool.
It's crazy.
And so we make it up there, and we're getting close to the end of the trip now. We're getting higher up. We are now sleeping at base camp, which is the Barafu camp at 15,000 feet. So we are now sleeping at this elevation, which we had hiked to the Lava Tower camp to have lunch at that to try and acclimate earlier, but now we're sleeping at this height. And while we're doing it, I tell the group that this trip goes through my dad's birthday. And there's this running joke where they planned this trip because it was Justin, one of the guys on the team's 50th birthday.
Okay, fun.
They planned
during the trip?
No, weeks before the trip.
Oh, okay.
They planned it
Yeah.
for his birthday, but it happened almost a month before the trip. But the
Right.
running joke was they would keep randomly singing happy birthday to Justin,
Of course.
even though his birthday passed ages ago and he hated it. So I sat down for dinner and I was like, hey guys, I'm not trying to detract from Justin's birthday. And everyone's like, yeah, Justin's birthday. And I'm like, but my dad's birthday coincides with this trip, so I was wondering if we could all do like a video and tell my dad happy birthday, and maybe and Justin too. And Justin was like, please don't add the and Justin.
Please.
You guys
you
take
can
the
stop.
spotlight
Leave
off of
me
me.
out of it.
This one is about Ethan's dad.
I will happily wish Ethan's dad a happy birthday.
Yeah, and so we all said happy birthday, Clayton, my dad, and Justin, and he hated it. It was funny.
Yeah, of course.
And my dad didn't catch the and Justin at first and was confused. He's like, damn, Justin got done dirty.
Yeah.
Because he didn't understand
Yeah.
when he finally got the video.
Yes.
Because then after I said it, Anton, Eugenia were there. I sent this whole video, and I'll show you guys the videos after because they're fun.
Of course, yes.
Because I got the whole video saved, and Anton says, Louisiana, what's your dad's name? And I said, Clayton.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, okay. And I was like, what, you want my phone? And so I open up the camera, and I set it to video, and he says, yes. And I said, duh.
Okay.
And I put it on video, and I was like, what are you going to record it in Russian?
Yeah.
And he was like, duh.
So
I hand him my phone. Whatever. So he presses the record button, starts recording it, and says, Clayton, the only word in English he says. Clayton, and just starts yapping in Russian, just shit talking in Russian. He puts it to the other Russian. They start shit talking. He puts it on his wife. His wife starts shit talking in Russian. And then his wife tries to speak in English, and she does a good job. And says that you had our good son.
Okay.
Close enough.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, the past tense is a little scary.
Yeah. But the thought is what counts.
So,
wait.
So
You're on your way out.
Oh, no.
I get the video. And I don't know what he says apart from you have a good son and Clayton. The rest is in Russian.
Of course.
So I try and send it to dad. I try and send both videos to dad.
Yeah.
The Russian one goes through. The other one doesn't. So my dad receives a video with no context. No context. Video from me.
Dude.
From my number.
First name basis.
All in Russian. And the only English words are, Clayton, you had a good son.
Oh my
He
god!
texts me back, are you good? Ask if I fucking die on the fucking mountain.
He's gone. Only the Russians remember
I
you.
replied, yeah, I'm good. It was a happy birthday thing. Did the other video not get there? He says, all I got is something in Russian. He thought I got kidnapped by the KGB. He was wondering why he got a message. He's like, I thought he went to Africa. Do they speak Russian in Africa? Past tense. Is he dead?
Is he sold into the...
So then, after like 20 minutes of trying, I resend the original happy birthday video. Because also, it's worth mentioning, in the video with Anton, I am not in the video. You cannot hear me in the background.
Oh
it's
my
just
God.
them saying that he had a good son.
I'm not
a
even
fucking
kidding. I'm not even kidding.
disaster.
Dude, I want to hear this video, and I want to pipe it through Google Translate to see if we can figure out what
I
he's
was
actually
going to
saying.
just text Anton and ask him what he said in the video, but
Well,
I could do that too. We'll do that after.
Right.
Yes.
So, so my dad, I finally get him the other video, and luckily, I mean, my dad probably assumed I was fine. He assumed the best, luckily, because whenever I sent him the second video that I'm in saying "Happy birthday, Dad" and Justin, his reply was just, let me see what this was. His reply was something. It was something like that was sweet or something.
I'm glad you're alive.
Yeah.
Oh, he said awesome. Okay, thanks, guys.
Yeah.
To the whole team. And I got back
Glad
home.
you weren't sold into the slave
Yeah,
trade.
I got back home, and I was like, how'd you like your... This is what I get for not just buying things and trying to be sentimental. I was like, how'd you like your birthday present? And he was like, yeah, it was memorable. So
That's funny.
Yeah, so I managed to make both my mom at Summit Night think I died and my dad think that I was died or kidnapped by the KGB.
In separate ways.
And this is why you just say happy birthday and get gifts. And you don't try and do fancy special shit because then your parents think that you're dying.
I want to make a shirt now for you that just says, you had a good son.
But it's like has Russian under it. Yeah. Oh, man.
Oh, man, that's...
God. Just, I felt so bad.
Oh, man, that's so
man.
funny.
So
God.
I that happened. That was definitely a highlight of the trip. So now we're getting to Summit Night. Now, you start climbing at about 11 o'clock at night, and you get to Summit ideally at about between 6 and 8 in the morning. You climb all night. Right. You're trying to get there for a few reasons. I think it's because you climb during the cold so that the way down can be warm and the summit can be warmer because as you get closer to the summit, the sun rises. Of course, I also just think you want to climb and see the sunrise at the peak. That's also part of it. So I don't exactly know if there's any hard reasons apart from seeing the sunrise on the peak.
But there's also probably some strategic reason for...
I think part of it is also because it takes so long to climb up, they don't want you to risk climbing down with the sun going down because climbing up in the dark is really not that hard with a headlamp. Climbing down in the dark is pretty dangerous. In fact, 90% of all injuries happen going down the mountain, not up. And so,
play the camera.
I have one. So I managed to not hurt myself the entire way up or down. I have one bruise on my arm because I slipped on the way down. I actually slipped a few times on the way down, and this one was because I hit a rock. So I have one bruise because I slipped, but I managed to not even get blisters on my feet. Nothing. Nice. The blister that I have on my foot didn't really happen or bother me until I got to the hotel and took the moleskin off, and it ripped off part of the blister and it hurt.
Oh yeah,
so
that's
then
bad.
it started.
Yeah.
So the blister did not even develop or bother me until I got to the hotel after the climb.
Right.
The whole thing. So I managed to do the whole climb without really hurting myself at all, which is impressive.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Summit Night is 8 hours of just straight up. And I think that's why you do it at night, because on the way down, they don't want you to do it while sun's setting.
Yeah.
I didn't really get down back to the bottom until 11 or 12 o'clock. It took forever. And I probably ate. I made the joke that on the way down, I was running out of energy. And I was like, I probably ate 130 calories for breakfast.
Damn.
Because I didn't have as much of an appetite. I couldn't eat that much. So I probably ate 130 calories for breakfast. And on the way up and down, I probably burned 4,000.
100%.
I was losing. I felt so weak.
So wait, so you're saying that you made it to the, so you summited in 6 hours?
We started at a little after 11 o'clock at night.
Okay.
And I got to the summit, documented. I didn't realize they have to document this, but documented at 7:40 in the morning.
Wow.
Okay.
So I climbed for 8 hours.
Okay. And how long you're saying it took you to get back down to that base camp?
3.
3
hours probably, yeah. It's still a long way down, and it's still a pretty slow way down.
How did it take you half the time to get down?
Oh, because it's much quicker on the way down. You don't have to stop as much. You don't have to pace yourself as much, and your oxygen goes up as you go down because the pressures are better, so you can breathe better. In fact, we climbed up.
There's just a slide that goes down.
Yeah.
I slid. I slid.
Oh, trust me,
I slid. It took us. It was also part of it's acclimating, so you can definitely climb this mountain way quicker than we did.
Okay.
But part of it is the intentional time. So we did 6 days up, 2 days down. It was really only 1 day down.
Holy shit, really?
We went down to Barafu Camp and then had lunch and then went down further to Millennium Camp and then we stopped there, rested. And then the next day we went from Millennium Camp all the way back down to the hotel.
Wow.
So in really 1 day we did the whole way down. And again, it gets increasingly easy because as you get lower, you can breathe easier. But
so you can probably, it feels like you can go longer.
Yeah. The problem is downhill, I would argue, is worse than Summit Night. The downhill was the worst part of the trip for me.
Really?
It's far more frustrating, far more painful, on your joints.
Yes. Because you're kind of at a weird angle.
And on top of all of that, it was all wet and all the rocks were slippery. So it was mentally exhausting to constantly be watching my footing everywhere. Yes. Even with, I borrowed our guide's hiking poles. Even with the hiking poles, it was so much more mentally exhausting. A summit night was as difficult as it was, and I would still call this the single most difficult experience of my life. Summit night was all mental. And was 100%. I have something to prove, and I'm going to do this.
Yes. Before you tackle that, I'm going to drink.
So that's fine. But
I want to hear that.
Summit night was all me proving this. The way down at that point, your body is like, I did what I have to do. I don't have to keep going to the top. Yeah. I've made it to the top. We're going down. I can take my time.
Right.
And all of the soreness that you've been ignoring and your body has been tuning out because you've been basically making it tuned out. All the soreness starts kicking in. Mm-hmm. So then everything starts hurting and you start getting... So it was the most mentally exhausting thing to try and go downhill. And my feet, ankles, and knees are just killing me. Mm-hmm. So it was definitely tough going down compared to up. And I again, personally, I think that the way down was, even though I had to take my time and pole, which means slowly or slow down in Swahili. You get told that a lot. Anytime you hear and someone nearly falls over, you're going to hear some guy walk about, hey, pole. You get told pole a lot. And let me tell you, I pole'd that pole, man. Damn. I was going slowly as much as I could.
You should be pole on my pole till I
Kilimanjaro.
fall over, until I slide down the mountain.
So so making it to the top, it was sort of a long thing. So I decided that I was going to slow down a little bit and be with a separate guide who ended up being Jackson. Jackson was a guide who spoke at least a fleeting amount of Russian. He spoke German, definitely conversationally spoke German. Spoke English and Swahili. And so he spoke a lot of different languages. He was really cool. He was a very good guide. He also liked singing Backstreet Boys.
Hell yeah.
And so he would just be like, Backstreet's back. All right.
Okay.
Damn.
And he would sing all sorts of songs. At one point, someone passes us. One of the boarders has Eminem playing, and he just hops right into the chorus and talks about how Eminem's a freak spitting on the pussy or whatever. Whatever the lyric was.
Yeah.
And I'm like, again, fighting for my life back here.
Yeah.
So whenever he does that, I start laughing and I have to stop and be like,
yeah, I gotta catch my breath.
I was like, you can't. I have to focus on my breathing, but you keep distracted because you make me laugh.
Yeah.
So
my
Jackson
out here
was great.
spitting shit.
So he, Jackson, and we had another guy that was with me, and the two that you saw in the picture, they're the ones going with me. And every once in a while, I would stop and I would have to catch my breath. And Jackson would ask me like, how do you feel? You have to let me know if you have symptoms. And other people would be saying all these things, like saying that they've got like symptoms or whatever. But me, I would never say it because I didn't have any. I was just, he would be like, are you short of breath? Well, no, I just had to stop and catch my breath. I don't feel short of breath still. I feel fine now that we stopped. Oh, no, I don't have chest pain. No, I don't have tummy pain. No, I don't have a headache. So I have to tell him all these things. And I was like, trust me, I'm a paramedic. I will tell you if I have real symptoms, but I don't have any real symptoms. My shortness of breath stops as soon as I sit still so I can catch my breath for a second. So he kept going up. He checks my oxygen. It's like, okay. It's not great. Well, it's let me rephrase that. It's okay for summit night standards. If this was at sea level, it would be abysmal dog shit.
Yeah. You would be fighting for your life.
And the amount of times I would
got any oxygen?
I would tell our team like, at one point, like they did medical checks every morning and night.
Right.
So they would do the medical check and it would be like 88%. And they'd be like, oh, I'll be like, wow, that's impressive. And they were like, why, wait, if the paramedic's asking, like, what's a normal number? And I was like, you're not supposed to go below 94%.
Get out.
You're not supposed to, ideally you want like close to 100%, you know?
Right.
You're not supposed to go below that. If this was sea level, that would be bad. But up here, it's not as concerning if you don't have symptoms. So, it would be, my oxygen was dog shit by normal symptoms, but I was still fine. And so we keep moving up. My heart rate's good, everything like that. And then right before we make it to Stella Point, Kilimanjaro is a volcano, or was a volcano. It's not really, I mean, I guess it's not, it's extinct now or whatever.
Dormant.
But because of that, it has like a rim, apparently.
Okay.
There are 3 peaks to Kilimanjaro. If you make it to Stella Point, you've made it to one of the peaks. You have climbed Mount Kilimanjaro. You will still get the medal. Alteza gives you a medal for climbing the mountain. you'll still get the certificate, and the certificate comes from the national park. So the people who recognize the mountain have recognized it, which is cool. I got a certificate from the government.
I love
saying
that.
I did this.
Right. Cool shit.
And so he, I put air quotes around government because it's a national park. I don't know how the rules are, but yeah. So we don't have a video. I just realized. Yeah. So
We've been playing the camera this whole episode.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
So I make it to. He was like, we stop, and I tell him really close to Stella Point. You can see just over the ridge, and the sun is rising now. So I know that we're almost to the top because now I can see the sun rising while I'm up here. I'm going to find the picture while I'm talking. So I know that we're getting to the point where it's very close. This is a separate mountain off in the distance.
Hell yeah! Look at that.
Damn. So this is what I'm seeing, and so that means it's going to warm up a little bit too. Because every time we stop, I get cold as shit.
Yeah.
And so I have another picture.
Damn, that was a cool picture.
I have a way cooler one.
I know you do.
So
So this is the first peak you're talking about?
We're almost to Stella Point.
Okay. And is this the lowest of all the points?
I don't really know where it stands between the other three. Stella, but to get to Uhuru Peak, which is the peak of Mount Kilimanjaro,
the biggest one,
or
tallest one.
Well, this is a different picture, but look at that one.
Look at that.
I love that one a lot.
The sun just on the tip top of the mountain, dude. That's awesome.
So Uhuru Peak is the roof of Africa, right? That is the peak. Yeah. And so he says if you get to Stella Point, you get the certificate, you get the medal, you have climbed Mount Kilimanjaro.
Yeah.
That's
under
what you have.
yeah.
And so he was like, because your oxygen, because we get, again, I can see the ridge line. I sit down and I finally tell him, whenever I stop to catch my breath, I can't. So I tell him, I was like, Jackson, I can't catch my breath. I finally tell him. He takes the little pulse ox out, puts my finger, and my oxygen is 60%.
Bro, what?
Jesus 60%
Christ.
is so abysmal.
Bro,
it's so bad. And my heart was 144, which was not
God.
abnormal for me climbing, but normally if I sit down, it would quickly go down to 120 and lower.
Yeah.
And it didn't. And he was like, I'm going to have to put you on oxygen. And I'm like, fine.
Yeah.
So he puts me on oxygen, and I catch my breath. And he's like, while you're catching your breath, let me give you some advice. Listen to it if you want. And so Jackson tells me,
okay,
if you make it to Stella Point, you've climbed Mount Kilimanjaro. My advice is, if we can make it to the top, you've climbed Kilimanjaro. And if you're not feeling any better, we go back down.
Yeah.
And I started shaking my head. And I was like, no.
Yeah.
I was like, Jackson, you don't understand. I can't quit just shy of the finish line.
Absolutely not.
And I was like, Stella Point is not that far from Uhuru Peak. I have to make it to Uhuru Peak. I have something to prove.
Yeah.
And I
didn't come all the way out here to give up.
And I look at him, I was like, at this point, I don't even fucking know who I'm proving it to.
Yeah.
But I have something to prove, and I'm going to keep going.
Yeah.
Take this off. We'll keep climbing. And he was like, we can leave the oxygen on for a bit. Well, let's make it Stella Point, and I'm going to see how you feel. And we'll go from there. Because I think he asked the question just to see how dedicated I was to it. Because I don't actually think he wanted me to quit. Nor do I think he expects me to say it.
But as a good lead, he's going to teach you, he's going to let you know, like, hey, you got it out.
He told me that, and I was like, no. And so he didn't really reply to that. I was like, I'm not going to stop short of this finish line. I have something to prove, and I'm going to make it to Uhuru Peak. And he stopped for a second, looked down, and my oxygen improved with I was put on a very little amount, and I think this is because it's all pressures, which are why you're not getting the oxygen. The oxygen in the air is still there because you're not getting it through the amount of pressures. Even putting yourself on a tiny amount of oxygen because it's going right into your nose, and because the pressures aren't really in the way because it's kind of spraying right there. It's just even that small percentage increase, it affects a lot. Yes. So I was up to like 90 just sitting there.
Wow,
I was only on 2.5 liters, which again is very small.
That's little.
That only enriches oxygen by like 2 to 4% or something like that. Like it's not that much more oxygen in the air, but it ridiculously improved it because it was just enough that my body was able to figure it out.
Yeah, process it through.
And it's funny because he was 96%, by the way. And also, Joshua.
He was 96 just sitting there?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Joshua, our lead guide, has done this 300 times, by the way.
Bro, what?
Yeah.
Shit.
It's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
So there's no big deal to him. Which is funny because every time he would be like, you guys, well, I'm happy that we could help you. I know this was hard for you guys. You've done this 300 times, man. Come on. You stop patronizing.
Yeah. Right. At this point, you could have almost done it every day of the year.
Right, yeah.
No, literally.
So we go up there. He takes the oxygen off me because, and I think, again, part of me having something to prove is that he didn't want me to make it to the top while still on oxygen. So he took the oxygen off of me.
Hell yeah.
And I made it to Stella Point and I stopped. He checked, put me back on the oxygen, and he took out my lunch, and I had this juice box. It was cold, and the problem is because the juice was cold, it made me cough.
Oh no!
And so he gave me a juice box. I tried to drink it. It's cold. I'm like, I think I'm done. And so I try to hand it back to Jackson, and he grabs it and does
nope.
And he shakes it. This is more full than I thought. He shakes it and then hands it back to me. Yeah. And I was like, Jackson, it's cold. And he just shakes his head. So I try to finish the juice box. I hand it back. He shakes it. There's supposed to be. I'm like,
drink it, motherfucker.
All right, Dad.
You're not done.
And the problem is the straw's not all in there. So I'm like, getting like a little bit back. And I start coughing again. And I'm like, dude, he's forcing me to drink this juice.
He's about to squeeze it in your mouth, dude.
So he's finally satisfied with me finishing it. And I'm like, all right, he's like, how do you feel? And I was like, I feel like $1 million. Where's the Hooter Peak? And I turn around and look at it, and he's like, it's just right there. And you can see it. It's slightly higher than where you're at, not even 100 meters higher, which for how high we are, that's nothing. It's probably, if you weren't at 19,000 feet of elevation, it's probably a 15-minute walk.
Damn. Nice.
And he was like, yeah, it's not far at all. Well, and he looks back at my oxygen, he's like, at our pace, it's probably 40 minutes away.
No.
He's like, but it's not that far. And he was like, how are you feeling? And I was like, I feel great. I think we can do it. I have to do it.
Yeah.
Let's go. So I am kind of impressed that I didn't need oxygen basically until one of the summits.
Yeah.
Because I ended up wearing it for half of the hike, and they took it off of me to make it to Uhuru Peak. And let me tell you, that was buns. Making it to Uhuru Peak without the oxygen was... so difficult. But I was fine. I was able to catch my breath whenever I finally stopped around there, because you waited in line for a picture, because a lot of people climb during summit night, so I'd wait. But it was we climb up there, and I made it to the point where I could see the sign, and it was mostly flat from where I was to the sign. So I didn't even make it all the way to the sign.
Yeah.
It's worth mentioning. I got pretty emotional, struggling to get to Stella Point, because again, I was reminding myself that I am doing this for something.
Yeah.
And a lot of quotes from different media came in my head from things that were inspiring to me.
Yeah.
Funny. I'm sure it comes as no one's surprise that at one point, while I'm struggling and actually contemplating turning around, I legitimately heard someone telling me to grit my teeth. I was
Bruh, get out.
Come on, man. And so I remember that's how I made it to Stella Point. And then the quote that I want tattooed on me that I misattributed to Seneca, which, by the way, I'm pretty sure it's a Baldur's Gate quote, which is even crazier. It's even the tides of fate can break upon the shores of will.
Yeah.
That was what I was thinking of.
Even a worm may turn.
Yeah. And so that's a Baldur's Gate quote from some old wizard, I think. And it's funny because I think whenever I put it in my little quotes book, the little note that I have, I'm pretty sure that is actually, I put it in the wrong spot with Seneca as a quote, and I'm pretty sure Baldur's Gate. Damn. But yeah, that one was a huge one for me, is because I felt like the tides of fate, as it were, it gave me this condition. And I got really sick, and these things happened to me. But, much like why I like inspiring shows about the human
the indomitable human spirit.
Much like all the things that I like, where it's the shores of the shores of will, even the tides of fate can break upon you having a strong will. And so for me, this was that I don't even need oxygen. I was oxygen's for pussies. I can see the sign from here. I'm just gonna walk, whatever, who cares?
I'm doing it.
And so I made it to the point where I could see the sign, and it was flat from there, and that was whenever I stopped, and I just cried.
Can I say the full quote from Baldur's Gate?
Yeah, one second.
I have it pulled up.
So 1 second. So I just cried. So me, Jackson, and Ernest, I'm just crying.
Oh yeah.
And I see it. I take a break, try and catch my breath, because crying was not making it easy to catch my breath.
Of course.
I walk the rest of the way, and I get the picture of me at Uhuru Peak, and it's funny because Jackson took the picture. And as the last little bit before we start talking about my downhill disastrous, I took this picture, and whenever I took it says, it's a picture of me at the Mount Kilimanjaro sign. It says, Mount Kilimanjaro, congratulations. You are now at Uhuru Peak, Tanzania, 5,895 meters above sea level, Africa's highest point, the world's highest freestanding mountain, one of the world's largest volcanoes, and a World Heritage in the Wonder of Africa. Wow. That's what the sign says. And so they call this the roof of Africa. They call this all the things. And I got this little picture up here. I pushed somebody literally out the way to get in line, because they had a whole team of people wanting to hold up a flag. And I was like, it's literally just me.
Yeah.
I'm taking 2 pictures.
Yeah.
I took these pictures, got down. Jackson hands me my phone and is like, hey, make sure these pictures are good. And I did. I'm sure they're great, man. I probably get some oxygen on the way down. If I'm being real. So he's like, yeah, it's good. And so I get out the way, and he puts me on oxygen, and I guess just hopping up to the thing and posing, and then hopping back down, skin was dying. So he puts back on the oxygen, and he's like, congratulations, you did it. And you didn't even stop short of it either. There's a silver certificate and a gold certificate, and you got the gold. You made it all the way to the top.
Damn.
So now I'm trying not to cry because I'm trying to catch my breath. I'm on 2.5 liters. I'm trying to be like, because I breathe through your nose.
I'm not crying, you're crying.
This stupid little thing. I breathe my fucking nose. I made the joke earlier. I was like, I probably put hundreds of these nasal cannulas, thousands on patients, and I don't think I've ever worn one before. And I was like, it's weird. So I took a break there, and I guess you can do the quote now that we're out of stuff.
The full quote, at least from what I'm able to see here, from what I was able to look up, it says, like moons make swell and wane the nascent seas, so too the sky strewn gods ordain the tidal fates of mortal days. And yet a notion born in lonely hours, come ebb, come flow, come all that is beyond the breath of our domain. Be a moon unto yourself. Even the waves of fate can break upon the shores of will.
The waves.
Yeah.
I think I picked tides because I like tides. But yeah, the waves. Yeah. And so there it is, right? And so for me, that like the human spirit, the shores of will, whatever you want,
spiral power,
whatever you want, whatever you want to call it, having that thing, whatever it is, that's like a wall that can stop the tides of fate. You're in control. So for me, that was the overarching story of me doing this and me choosing to do this, was that I'm in control and that I'm doing this because I said I can.
Yeah.
And even though I'm probably going to need more help than most of my teammates did, and I'm probably going to take a lot more time than my teammates did, 40 minutes longer than them at the very least, to get to the top, I'm still going to prove to myself and to other people out there who might be in the hospital or something that it can get better and that they can do this.
For context, Elminster tells the player character this: if they insist, they'll find an alternative option to Gale being tasked with blowing himself up.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And I remember hearing that and being like, that goes hard.
Yeah.
So I, and then it came from the way down. And because I exhausted every ounce of effort because it was all mental. Like you want to turn around, you want to stop, but you don't let turning around be an option. You're going to make it to the top. So for me, Summit Night, as difficult as it was, I even needed oxygen at one point. I don't find it difficult because I had there's no turning back mindset.
Oh, yeah.
And it's also kind of funny because you hike 7 hours up there, and it's like, I've got 30 minutes left to the top or 7 hours back. It doesn't really seem like an option when you do it. Mm-hmm. So we start going back down. Jackson takes my phone and just starts taking pictures while I'm trying to catch my breath, which is hilarious. I have some okay pictures of like the nearby glacier and stuff that he took for me while I'm catching my breath. And then he just leaves me on the oxygen the whole way down because he's like, I guess because he thought that he pushed me and I pushed myself really hard. So he wanted to just make sure I stay on oxygen the whole way. It's like half the way down. The problem is there isn't that much slack on the oxygen tubing, and he moves quick on the way down.
Oh, no.
And so at one point, I'm wearing the oxygen, and he like hops down like one of the rocks, and I wasn't ready for it, and so he yanks me like a puppy. like a puppy on the leash. He yanks me. I was like, whoa! I luckily didn't fall at all on the way down. It was just the absolute last hike, the hike that kept getting an increasing length. That took us 6 hours. And they were like, the final hike's going to be 11 to 12 kilometers. And every time they brought it up, they would increase it by a half. And so by the time it was like time to go, Josh was like, yep, tomorrow, 13.5 kilometer hike. And I was like, you're just going to get 14? Right. Tomorrow morning for breakfast, you're going to say 14? Yeah. Kept increasing the number. It did end up taking us about 6 hours to get down there. Yeah. Which was a lot, but I didn't have to stop like at all because I could catch my breath.
To get down the mountain?
Yeah, the last day, yeah.
Okay.
So we went down from Uhuru Peak to Barafu Camp.
Yeah.
Had lunch. Because I was later getting down the rest of the team, they all packed their bags, then had lunch. I sat down, had lunch because I needed energy. Yeah. And Josh was like, hey, did you have time to pack your bag? I was like, I literally just got here. And he's like, I'm going to send one of the guys to just pack your bag. All right. Okay. And I was like, fine. You know what? At first I was like, no. And then the food came out and he was like, we're going to hike after this. And I was like, Josh,
I need to eat. Yeah.
just tell Edward to like leave my rain jacket out in case it rained. And he was like, got it. So they packed my shit for me. Very, very nice of them. They were amazing people. I wish that I could have time to talk about all the fun things, all the stories I have from all these amazing people that helped this thing happen. And we then from Barafu Camp went to Millennium Camp, finally slept because we'd been up for like 24 hours of hiking basically at that point. Slept for a long time. And then the next day we went from Millennium Camp all the way down, 13 and a half kilometers to the base of the mountain. Or to at least like Welcome Center, base of the mountain. And that was tough because everything was wet because it had rained recently and it's in the rainforest. All of it's rocks, all of it's slippy. My boots are not that great. And so I'm like slipping around, which is funny because my boots have been good the whole time, but on the way down, they were not that great.
Give up.
Most people slipped at least once or twice. I swept twice.
Slipped
twice. The first time I didn't hurt myself. The second time I didn't hurt myself, but I guess I had my arm in a rock and I have a bruise now. I never drew blood. Didn't twist my ankle. Didn't even have a blister until I got to the hotel. The sunburn didn't really become a problem until like the last night. And again, that's the only sunburn I have is this one on the back of my neck.
Right.
I managed to get out of this unscathed.
Yeah. The battle scars you do have are going to be okay.
Apart from the fact that I got to the hotel and actually could not get out of the bed. When I finally got to the hotel, took a shower, laid down. I propped my feet up to do some leg drains because they were all sore and kind of swollen. Propped my feet up for like 15 minutes. And I was like, okay, like we're going to go get beers at the bar. And I tried to move and I was like, oh, shit. My body realized that it doesn't have to anymore. I was like, I'm done.
I'll never forget the one time that I like worked out my core a whole lot for the first time when I was like in my early 20s or whatever. I had worked out all my like abs and chest, like all that kind of, and I worked it out I pushed myself far too hard. And I will never forget the involuntary sound that came out of my body as I just did this simple action of trying to lift myself up out of the bed. Like I was just gonna sit up, a common occurrence that I've always done. You wake up and you just lean up. No big deal. And that's where my mind was. But the sound of the sound that involuntarily came out of my body, I went because like my whole everything contracted and it all hurt so bad, and I was just like, and then I lay back down and then I just started laughing because I was like, what the hell was that? I just compressed the shit out of my body, and I was like, damn.
Wow.
So I can only imagine. You're like, oh, it's time to get out of the bed. You're just like
no, it ain't.
Luckily, it was all like legs and hips and knees were hurting. But definitely, because once I took that moleskin off and had like that blister now, which was kind of annoying as well. It was like hard to walk because like on one leg, like the blister could hurt, but then my legs were sore, so I was walking like a idiot.
like a newborn deer.
It was bad.
Wobbly knees.
So that shower was act of God.
Probably the best shower you've had in a long time.
8 days of not showering, and I got in there. It took forever for the hot water to heat up. But
of course.
And even then, like I was like, it's funny because I went through all of this, right? And it's amusing how quickly you get comfortable whenever you're back in a comfortable situation. Because the hot water, we weren't 100% sure the hotel had hot water.
Right.
We didn't know if they were saying it took 5 to 8 minutes for it to heat up, or if they were saying each person might have 5 to 8 minutes of hot water.
Okay.
And so it wasn't really labeled, so I couldn't figure out which way to turn it to hot water. So I would turn it all the way to one side, and I would leave it for a handful of minutes, turn it all the way to the other side and leave it for a handful of minutes. It never really got hot.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I really just wanted to rinse all the dust off of me because, man, it's dusty as shit out there.
Yeah.
There was a point whenever I had to stop blowing my nose because all the dust and stuff, I guess, got caught. So I gave myself a bloody nose.
Oh, yeah, because you irritate the shit out of it.
But also, you would blow your nose and it would just be jet black. Just all the dust out. It was just black.
Yeah, it was nasty.
Yeah, and so, like, I was just trying to rinse all the dust off of me and stuff. And I felt the water, and it was kind of cool. And I remember, like, chuckling to myself and being like, I just climbed the world's tallest freestanding mountain to prove a point. And I'm over here like, the water's cold. It's funny. I get back to the hotel and suddenly I'm a little bitch again. And I was like, and the worst part is I just sweat my ass off, so I kind of want a cold shower. This is just a little bit too cold, and I'm faking. So I walk into the ice cold shower.
Of course.
And I'm like, I can lock it. I can do this. I walk in the shower. And luckily, I walked into what I thought was the ice cold shower. But the water had warmed it up to like
room temperature
to like cool
body temperature.
not cold.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right,
so
right.
and then it started heating up. I was like, well, okay, no, now I kind
whoa,
of now I kind of like the cool
I was
water.
kind of digging this.
Somebody else can take the hot. So I kept turning it down and making it back to like room temperature or cool because I was like, actually, this feels kind of nice.
Yeah.
Not that I grew up hair. It actually is. Yeah. So I washed my hair like twice and got all the brown water.
Yeah.
I'm finna brown.
I cleaned everything off.
You said something earlier. You said whenever you just rinsed your hair out,
Yeah,
it
I
just
rinsed
was
my hair
brown
and my
water that
beard.
came
Yeah,
out.
exactly.
It was like,
It was my hair and my beard, and it was all the dust got out of it. Actually, took a while for me to clean my beard. I guess I don't really shampoo my beard. I don't really do anything for that. I just let water. So it took me a while to finally get my beard to not feel like it was
dirty,
still, even though I washed it a lot. And we were joking around like about what so one of the guys in the group asked like what was something you'll look forward to going back down, and I was like, I'm gonna sound kind of crazy here, but low key, all the dust on me right now, I'm kind of missing my skincare routine. There you go. I was like, I don't even have a long skincare routine. I just use a face cleaner and then a lotion, but I'm missing both of those a lot right now.
But with how dirty I feel right now,
I was like, hey. We also talked about what our like favorite thing was on the way down the mountain, and we were like, what was your favorite memory? And the one that I picked was our chef. His name was Puce. He was badass.
Love that.
Because I didn't expect to. I thought I was going to be eating like, Weevil hardtack.
Right.
And just not being
Graham
hungry
crackers
up the mountain.
yeah.
And I actually had meals that I'm kind of disappointed that I will probably never be able to have again unless I do another Kilimanjaro trip.
Really?
Because like Puce made some food that like, and he even said like it's difficult because
That mountain food hits different.
he said it's difficult. Whenever I mentioned that I had a condition, I was worried about what I was going to eat. And I'm at the end of the trip. I was like, thanks, you did a great job. He was like, it can be difficult sometimes. I have to plan what you're going to eat, thinking about what elevation you're at and how much more difficult things can be to digest. And then I have to think about where we're going next, what you should eat, and then how I'm going to get it there. Somebody's got to carry the food out. And I was like, damn, that sounds like a lot. You did a great job in spite of all of that.
Yeah. You know what, Puce?
So
you're a real one.
My first conversation with him was when we were taking a picture that I will find for you because it's a really good picture.
Yeah.
And while I'm taking this picture, he's standing out there and he's like, yeah, I never get tired of it. It's always a great sight.
I can imagine.
And here it is, this picture. And so I walked over, I shook hands with him, I asked his name, and I was like, how long have you been doing this? And he said, well, I'm your chef. My name's Puce. And I was like, nice to meet you, Ethan.
Thank you for the food.
Food's been kind of banging so far.
Right.
So hell yeah, this is like second or third night. It's like second night. Sorry, this is morning, third day. The second night was like the coldest night because just the rain or something. So it was really cold. This is the morning of the third day. Amazing sunrise over this peak.
And you haven't like officially met him until this moment?
Yeah, he said he actually had planned on introducing himself that day anyway during breakfast to say like, hey, if you have any recommendations of what you want to eat or something, like let me know. I'm your chef. But I hadn't officially met him yet.
Yeah.
And I was like, how long have you been doing this? And he was like, well, I've been a chef for 18. He does not look that old, by the way. He's old enough. He's like almost 40. I think he is 40. Yeah. No, he's 39. But doesn't look that. Right.
Yeah.
He said, I've been a chef for 18 years, but I've been.
That's all that mountain air.
He said, I've been a chef for 18 years, but I've been doing this as a mountain chef.
Yeah.
For 13 years.
What?
Damn.
And honestly, I have no complaints. I'm doing what I love.
Bruh.
And he looks back at the summit, and I look at the summit, and I'm like, I'm supposed to climb that, and I said, yeah, I don't blame you. I like seeing that all the time. He's like, exactly, yeah. It's not always easy, but I mean, I love this, and I was like, yeah, it's awesome.
Damn, dude.
And he has this most genuine, down to earth like smile about him, and he's so nice. And it's like, if this is the tent, this is the food tent, this is where I cook, this is where I do all my work. Let me know if you need anything.
Bro.
And I was like, dude, what a Chad, man.
What a
guy. So then, like, we don't ever request anything from him. We just let him do whatever he's doing.
Yeah.
Until, like, right before summit night.
Okay.
At one point earlier, he made this Russian soup dish called borscht.
Hell yeah.
And it's just a really popular, it's like meaty stew.
I know borscht.
Soup thing. Yeah. Very good.
Yeah.
And he made it very, very well. And so we're like, we asked one of the servers, kind of not really knowing that he's going to do like a whole thing out of it. We're like, hey, what's the over under on us getting borscht again? So the server,
That's so good.
The server.
But here's my real question: were the Russians impressed?
Well, yeah, the Russians were also on board with us getting borscht again.
Of course they were.
And so the chef leaves. The assistant leaves and comes back with the chef. And so Puce comes in, takes his hat off, and is like,
yeah,
"Okay, everyone,"
hello,
and just kind of waits. Nobody says anything, and we're like, oh. He was like, you guys, they said that you needed me for something. He said you had a request. And we're like, oh, yeah, we were wondering what the over-under was on you being able to make borscht again. I'm pretty fired, you know?
Can we have some more, please?
Could we have some more meat stew?
And he was like, his answer was, with a shrug, while holding his hat in both hands, he just does a little shrug and says, I mean, why not?
Yeah.
And I was like, what? Everyone's like, what a raw answer. He's like, why not? I'm here for you guys. Yeah.
I'll make more of it.
Yeah. And he was like, the little tiniest bit of pride on his face too, because he's like, yeah, they like my borscht so much they want it. You know, it's like, it's so sick. He's like, yeah.
Oh, you like it that much?
Okay. He's like, why not? Yeah. He's like, do you guys want it for lunch down the mountain, or do you want it for dinner, that night? No, for dinner the night after the mountain. Because we'd already had dinner at this point before the summit. And we were like, what do you think? And he was like, well, I mean, it's really up to you guys, but like, I would probably say dinner, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't know if there's probably dinner might have just been easier for him. It might have just been easier for hiking. Or he might have been thinking more in depth about like digestion. Yeah. But also, what I can say is that him picking dinner gave us something to look forward to after all of that.
100%. He's like,
holy
shit. We're like, maybe we're getting borscht later.
Hiked 8 hours up, 3 hours down, had lunch. Guess what? 2.5 more hours till Millennium Camp, and then we leave your ass alone. That 2.5 hours downhill was killing me, man. Yep. Mm-hmm. And knowing that I knew at least part of what I was getting that was going to be good, because he also mentioned he was making like a chicken dish, and it was I was like, dude, I'm going to have so much protein, and now it doesn't matter because I'm going down to a lower village so I can eat all this protein.
Yeah, you're fine.
So it helped a lot, and he made the most banger dinner that night. Oh my god, it slapped so fucking hard. And then the next day,
soup.
Yeah, soup. Yeah. Honestly, it was funny because every time the server would like come in with like food, he would be like, today for dinner or for lunch or whatever. Yeah. And every time we would make one of two jokes. For breakfast, he would always say what we had, but one thing we always had was porridge.
Hell yeah.
We always had this like
you can't go wrong.
It's basically porridge. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And every time he'd be like, okay, for breakfast, we'd be like, porridge.
And
every time he was like,
hell yeah.
he would shrug, take the thing off, and be like, porridge.
Damn.
Way to ruin my climax.
Magic.
You're like, porridge.
Way to take my only job.
He's like, you guys are crazy.
Jesus.
So then every time,
that's so funny.
Whenever dinner would roll around, he'd be like, for dinner, and we'd be like, soup. And he'd be like, oh, soup. This is butternut squash soup or whatever. And they made some really good soups. And I am really not a soup guy. I don't. Yeah. I like eating things, not drinking them. I don't know.
Yeah.
But after all that, getting a really salty soup and Tabasco sauce, and nobody on the team knew that Tabasco, one of probably the biggest export in Louisiana,
100%.
Like this all over the world,
all over
the world, and every single time we stopped at our little table, we had Tabasco sauce, and I mentioned that's from Louisiana, and they nobody knew that, and
not only that,
the Russians were like, Louisiana! We're on Team Louisiana because they love, dude.
Not
Russians,
only that, but I've been to the farm where they make that.
Yeah, I haven't been there yet. But
it's pretty sick.
And he's like, so now I've got Team Louisiana. Anton and Eugenia loved it. They put the hot sauce in their soup every time. So did I.
Nice.
It was something nice about having a really salty and kind of spicy soup to help you like get some some salt, sodium in your body after all that
fucking
hiking.
life back in you.
Yeah.
But a little fun fact.
Also cold as balls. So you get there and you're like, it's so warm.
More, please.
A little fun fact for anybody who doesn't know that about the state of Louisiana either is a lot of times whenever they were picking the peppers for Tabasco sauce, there's a certain color of red they need to be to pick them, like that are at their most ripe to make sauce and make things out of them. So they would carry around a stick that was painted the correct shade of red.
No mistakes.
Yeah. So what they would do is as you would walk through the plantation or whatever, you'd hold the stick up, and if the pepper was the correct shade of red, those were really harvested, and that's actually where the capital of Louisiana comes from is Baton Rouge, which is red stick in French, because this of course is a French owned place at one point in time.
Well, I mean, Cajun French, of course.
Disgrace.
The damn French. There was quite a few French jokes on this trip as well. There was this like French team that we passed, and one of our teammates who didn't give a shit and would make this kind of joke,
of course,
loudly said bonjour to them. And I mean,
if
looks could kill,
I
mean, straight daggers. I mean, dinner that night, he was like, "I'm still pulling to the French group that was climbing down."
Damn.
We passed them, and he was like, "Bonjour," and he said it in a very not bonjour way. And dude, I mean, the knives.
Oh yeah,
He's like, "I'm still picking knives out of my dinner." He was like, we brought it up as a joke at dinner. He's like, "I'm still picking knives out of my legs."
Dude. Even when you say it with a perfect accent, they'll still critique you.
Yeah, and it was so funny though.
I've heard someone say bonjour, and a French person says, "Huh?" and he says, and then the person goes, "Oh, sorry, bonjour," and they're like, "Oh, okay, I hear you, understand you now." And it's like, "Okay, you bitch."
Dumbass. Yeah, get Frenchies.
Yeah. They hate it.
How's that flag treating you?
They hate everybody. They hate everyone that tries to speak their language.
I'm gonna pour wine on your white flag. Oh, double roast.
Okay, is there anything else you want to touch on?
So yeah, we start making it to the bottom, and first off, when we make it to dinner that next night, we are now at like 13,000 feet of elevation, which is still a lot, but now because my body got used to 19,000. I slept like a fucking baby at that height.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting.
95%. I was crisp.
Yeah, you were full oxygen.
Yeah, I was good. I slept so well. But when we get there, Jackson comes in, and he's holding 2 bottles of alcohol-free champagne.
No.
And he's like, "You got," and then
sparkling grape juice.
And Joshua's like, that's when he says, "Congratulations, everyone! You guys killed the killie. Good job."
Yeah.
And this is and he says, "This is from Alteza. It's complimentary. It's champagne." Everyone's like, "Yeah!" He's like, "And it's also alcohol-free champagne because they don't condone us drinking at this altitude, but there will be the real deal at the gate tomorrow."
Hell yeah.
He was like, "When we make it down
That's
all
all
the
you
way,
had to say.
officially, we make it down
Foolproof at the bottom.
Yeah, and so everyone, we all drink our sparkling grape juice, and
Hell yeah.
everyone's like, we're like making jokes. And I was like, "Look, maybe it's
Everyone puts on their little propeller hats and says,
I said that a lot.
Oh yeah, that's great.
And so I was sipping it through my little coffee mug, the one that I showed you. I'm
Hell
sipping
yeah.
my little fake champagne. I was like, "Look, maybe," because it was a recurring joke that I'm the youngest in this group by a long shot. And I was like, "Look, maybe it's because I'm a literal child, but this sparkling grape juice kind of slaps.
It's
and I'm
kinda
gonna
great
pour
right
more."
now.
"My favorite juice."
So we finish it, go down to the bottom, and they have Kilimanjaro beer waiting for us. They have champagne waiting for us.
Hell yeah.
And we have our little, and it's funny because then Martin drinks the Kilimanjaro beer. He drinks like 2 glasses of the champagne. I have like 3 glasses of the champagne.
Hell yeah, dude.
I mean, I go crazy. And
What's the celebration at this point?
and Martin is like, "Oh, wait." And he sees another group getting their certificates and the medals. And he's like, "Oh, wait. Is this like a graduation ceremony? I think I'm already too drunk to do a ceremony."
You don't have to walk on stage.
He was like, "I stopped drinking for a few weeks for this trip. I think I'm already too drunk for this ceremony."
Yeah,
and I was
a
like,
little
"It's
too
fine.
much.
I don't think anyone make sure the medal gets on you and you get the certificate."
Yeah.
So I have a certificate that have you seen it?
I have not.
Okay. I'll find the picture of the certificate here. It's pretty, what's it called? It's pretty simple. It just says, "Has successfully climbed Mount Kilimanjaro, Tanzania." And it has the whole certificate thing on
Oh, that's so
and,
cool.
Here, let me. So
That's
I'm now
awesome.
showing the pictures. I also have a picture of me receiving my medal from Joshua, and that's one of our guides, Nema. She's the only female guide.
Look at that, dude.
Yeah, it's a sick medal. So the medal is provided by Alteza, which means it's not like the official thing. It's just them giving it to you. But
Dude.
the certificate is provided by.
You look like you could use a shower. I'm not even gonna lie.
Oh yeah, no, you can see my hair is.
You look fucking filthy.
My hair,
It just
my
looks like
hair is
Yeah.
sleeked back as if I put something in it. Yeah,
But
the something is dirt.
Yeah, dirt and sweat. Dirt and hard work is that.
Yeah. So and there it is. Yeah, and
We call that the tour right there.
Josh was getting giving me that thing. Yeah. So, and here we all are. After fighting for our lives on the way down, this is 10 of us because 2 did not do the full thing. So
Wow, look at
this
that.
is the 10 group of people who did the whole.
What do you mean by they didn't do the full thing? Like the
made it to the top, but then got a helicopter to go down.
really?
Wow.
Yeah, they were rich.
Oh, I see.
So yeah,
That's crazy.
so we all drink.
At
And,
first, I thought something was wrong, but no, they're just rich.
yeah. Also, at one point, I saw a post. I need to find it and show it to you guys. But I saw a post of like people fighting for their life hiking or something, and then it shows their like Sherpa like going and he has a cigarette in his hand.
Hell yeah,
and it's lit. And I would like to say that I just told you guys a story about how I heaven piercing Gigadrill. I had to grit my teeth. I mean, I fought for my life. I proved a point, and this was the most difficult experience of my life. And I would like to say that somewhere up there was a 45-year-old porter who stopped for a smoke break.
Oh, 100%.
And I saw him
to ruin his lungs a little bit more.
Just
taking a fat ass drag,
just chuffing a fat dart.
Oh man,
and taking it. And then he finished it and then flicked it, grabbed bags that weighed more than I do, and then walked. And I was like, he's not even in my group either, because our group, again, they didn't carry that much.
He's just some guy.
He's just some guy. He was some guy who took a smoke break.
Some guy, he's the guy.
At 17,000 feet of elevation. And I'm like, fuck you, man.
I'm going to fucking
if I had
kill
a
you.
quarter of your lung capacity, it'd be better. And it's like, it's funny, because like our group, we carried a lot of our own stuff. So like they still had people carry like, you know, they had the tents would be set up and they carried our duffel bags with clothes with the sleeping bag. But like this guy carried like a lot of shit.
Right, a whole
and like
rucksack.
Altezza prides themselves on having the Kilimanjaro Porter like Society or whatever it is. They provide fair pay, and they also their porters have maximum load limits, so their porters don't carry too much weight.
Nice.
And so they pride themselves on. I'm pretty sure also this is the reason why there's so many Russians. I'm pretty sure Altezza is a Russian-owned company, and that's why it's even though it's a Tanzanian locally like owned company, it's also like Russian affiliate, it's like probably a shareholder or something.
Yeah.
So because of that, like even as much as one of the supervisors at the hotel spoke Russian to help them.
Wow,
get
interesting.
stuff back. Yeah.
Wow.
So it apparently is like Russian owned or something. I didn't know that, but yeah. And so they pride themselves on being very. In fact, they donated a bunch of firefighting equipment because fires have recently messed up a couple of the paths in like 2020 or something. They like messed up some of the paths, so they donated a shit ton of firefighting equipment. So they're very pro-conservation of the area, which is why they're so popular. They also keep oxygen on them, and they aggressively will treat oxygen if you have a headache with mountain sickness. So they're all better trained, which is why, even though it's the most expensive, I would 1,000,000,000% recommend it. And I have learned that you can request a guide. So if you are out there, and if you, for any reason or no reason, are interested in climbing Mount Kilimanjaro, I cannot recommend it enough to do it through Altezza. They are slightly expensive than the alternatives, but because they have the options to rent all of your gear and they have a gear check, which I neglected to mention earlier, they check all of your stuff and tell you if they think you're prepared for the mountain or not.
Interesting.
And if they think that you need to rent something to be prepared, they will tell you to rent it. Yeah. Yes, this part of this probably comes from them gaining the money. There's two reasons. I think one is they have a very high success rate and they want to keep that success rate high. So they make you rent things that you may or may not use. And B, they might want you to pay to rent things. So they highly recommend certain things you have and might pressure you into renting things. Everything they pressured me into renting, though, I used in some capacity, so I can't even complain.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And because I don't have a lot of mountain climbing experience, I don't have a lot of this equipment. It's not worth me buying all of this. I still bought some things.
Let them know that Louisiana sent you.
Yeah. So you can request Joshua. I would recommend it.
Hell yeah.
I don't know if you can request assistant guides, but if you do request Jackson, he's amazing. Again, he like emotionally carried me to the top. He was
if he isn't
so
his own
supportive.
guide by now.
He's been a guide. He's the same age as Joshua. Okay. So he's been a guide for a long time. I just don't think that he is a lead guide.
I see.
Potentially maybe because he doesn't want to. I don't know. But the lead guide position is different than just a normal mountain guide, because the lead guide is far more of a facilitator and doesn't actually walk in front of the group and guide as often.
Right.
It's a lot more in-camp facilitating, medical checks, all the medications, and so I feel like there's a non-zero chance that Jackson just likes being a guide. So, I mean, I don't know, but either way, if it's possible to request him, do it. He's amazing. They're all great. I would 100% do it. They are the best company. I can now say that, having heard from other people who have climbed, the two in the airport that I met, Altezza is the way to go. they're the way to go. I enjoyed this so much. The two in the airport to close their story out, we talked about it, and they were like, they said that they made it to the top as well, and we kind of shit talked a couple of things that happened. We joked about the really bad toilets that are the public toilets that are up there. Oh God. And at one point I mentioned that we had like a designated chef, And we had this big group, and how I rented a toilet that wasn't, so I didn't have to use the one that was just a hole in the ground. There was like a rental thing that you could do that was like a portable toilet. It was still kind of ass, but it was better than nothing. And they joked around. They were like, "Give me the metal. Give that. You didn't have the real experience. You rented a toilet. You guys didn't have to deal with all that. It's not real.
God.
Give me the metal." I was like, yeah, I get it. So,
Hey, that's the one thing you have to sacrifice on. That's what I'll do. If I could rent a toilet, then instead of doing it in a hole.
It wasn't great, but it sure beat nothing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'll take that.
We made it to the bottom, made it to the hotel. Everyone showered, and we all sat down. And the Russians gave me some chocolate, more chocolate. Also, at some point in there, I missed. The Russian, as a joke, gave me more salami. He gave me a whole separate pack that he brought, and I was like, "Did you bring any clothes? Did you bring just snacks?"
Just the meat.
Gave me more salami, and he handed the salami, and I took the packet, and I was like, "This isn't Jägermeister. We made it to the bottom. Come on." And he's like, "Oh, at the hotel." I make it to the hotel, and while I'm still trying to return my rental equipment, everything hurts. I still want to shower, but if I don't return the equipment now, then I think I'm gonna, forget about it later, and I don't want to end up paying too much and all that. So I just do it so I don't forget. And Anton walks up, and he says, "Louisiana." still going Louisiana.
Yes.
Right.
He says, "Louisiana. Beer?" And I'm like,
Yes.
I'm
You
like,
know what?
yeah, but I'm returning my equipment. And he says, "Beer." And then he leaves. Comes back not even like 3 minutes later, holding a separate beer.
Oh my God.
Holding two. And by the way, these Kilimanjaro beers, let me see if I can find the picture of one of them. They're not small. They're the like big version of it. Like they're not a 40, but they're huge.
Yes.
Here it is. I don't know how big it is. You can't even really see. Dang it. There's no number on it, but like there's just for clarification, there's a normal sized water bottle in the background.
Oh my God.
Holy
Yeah.
It's like 500 plus mils, and like a normal beer is like
damn.
300 mils or something, right?
Yeah.
So it's a pretty big beer, and so he goes for it and hands this opened beer to me, and is like, "There you go." But I'm still trying to return my equipment, so I'm like, "Thanks, Anton," and then I take a sip, and I'm like, "Hell yeah!" And then I put it down, and then I continue returning my equipment. I take it back with me. I just leave it on the counter while I take a shower because he gave me I'm not ready yet.
What the fuck am I going to do with
I
it?
should have taken it with me and had a shower beer because come on,
Hell
man,
yeah.
shower beer after all. I should have, but I
Yeah.
didn't. We go to the bar. We all get a nice dinner. I got a salad and a pasta, and I ate so much. And I got I got a whiskey drink, and I got another beer. We all drank and chatted, and that was whenever we talked about how an interesting side effect was the fact that we met the Russians and how we got to put a face to the people of Russia a little bit there.
Yeah.
We kind of started opening up about how like one of the most interesting side things that happened on this trip was those two and how nice they were and how we've learned actually a lot about people of Russia and their culture and how they're not what we basically see.
Yeah.
Right.
But when we made it down the camp, I forgot a little detail that was in my notes. We had, let me see that beer.
Uh-oh.
It's empty, so I'm gonna hold it just for a demonstration.
Yeah. You gonna play it to camera?
It was bigger than this, but we had the beers there, and they're not twist offs.
Yeah.
So we had to figure out how to open it,
Yeah.
and Anton already opened his.
Of course. Oh yeah.
He opened it, and
Leave it to the Russian.
I
to find a way.
looked over. He already opened it. He's chugging it. Eugenia's recording him chugging it. He's
Hell
like,
yeah.
"We made it to the bottom." You know, this team, by the way, they've already climbed Mount Elbrus in Russia, so this is their second of the 7 summits.
Of course.
They have plans next year to climb Aconcagua. I'm pretty sure they're trying to climb all 7 summits at some point.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so they're like big hikers.
Yeah.
No shocker, Ethan, who's not had like no training, is the one who had a hard time.
Right.
And he so he's holding the beer, and I was like, how did he open it so quickly?
Yeah.
And so somebody is like asked him to open it, and he grabs the water bottle that's next to him, and he opens it with the water bottle, and then hands it back to him. And I was like, "Hey,
Excuse
yo,
me?
how'd you do that? Wait a second." And he's like, "In Russia, they teach you that in school."
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't have the energy to bother
Right.
saying yes
That's
or
real
no to that.
now.
Yeah.
Because like in Ireland, apparently they teach you how to fight off a badger
Hell yeah.
in school.
Of course.
If a badger bites your leg, then just find a stick and break it. The badger will think it broke your leg and will let go and run away. They teach them that like in middle school.
Bro, what?
No, I don't know. I'm not Irish.
Yeah,
well, I
yeah,
am
yeah.
Irish, but I'm not Irish.
Yeah, right.
I was like, I don't know.
Same.
But my guy, my tour guide, Dearman, said that they taught him that in school while
That's
he was there.
wild.
And he's like my age, so I believe.
That's ridiculous.
And if it's not true, it's still funny.
Yes.
So I'm sitting here like, they probably do teach you how to open a beer in Russian
Right.
school. I don't know.
Who am I to argue?
And so I'm like, Anton, go for it.
Could you please?
And then he's like, no. He walks over because he's going to teach me.
Oh, of course
He's
he
like,
is.
no.
The only thing I was going to say was leave it to the Russian man to find a way to make a twist off out of a not twist off cap.
Yeah. And so he's like, he's going to teach me because he says that he views Louisiana as like a little brother.
I love that.
He's gonna teach me. So
that.
he because he speaks honestly pretty acceptable English, but I think because he never really has to speak it much in Russia.
Yes.
I think he perceives his English as worse than it is. So oftentimes he'll just demonstrate.
Of course, instead of
but
having
he speaks pretty solid English, conversationally enough. Like honestly, and his
Holds his
accent
own.
is thick, but it's very funny, so it's okay.
Of course.
And so he's like, so I'm holding it like this, and he's like, no, like. Okay, so
Hold
I grab it like
firmly grasp
I grab it like that, and then I tilt the water bottle, and he's like, he points here. He's like, knuckle.
Yeah,
Knuckle.
okay.
So I put on the knuckle. And I'm like, okay, and he's like, and then you're gonna
lever action.
and he hits me like a flex.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
I do it, and it pops off, and I was like, holy shit! And he's like, Louisiana! And I just start chugging the beer.
I just started
chugging the beer. And he's like, Louisiana! And then
I love, dude. Men are simple creatures.
I
and
know,
I love
right?
it.
It's so great. Boys can be friends so easily.
Just a
Give
couple.
me a beer, and I'll be friends with anybody.
Just a couple dudes being guys out here. You got it breaks all cultural boundaries, all language boundaries. You just
language barrier be damned.
Just brute force your way into something and just start
because screaming and chugging beer is the same in every language.
100%.
And I don't even really like beer, nor do I know how to chug beer. But the point is, after I opened it, I was like, I gotta try.
I saw two. I saw a reel recently about two American people at a Japanese bar, and there are three other Japanese men at the other side of the corner of the bar. And one American does not speak very good Japanese, but the other one does. And the Japanese people are asking the guy who doesn't know Japanese very well what his favorite word in Japanese is. And the guy's like, I don't think I quite understand. And the guy who does speak Japanese says, oh, they're asking what your favorite word is. And then the guy says in Japanese, oh, my friend's favorite word is a gay, and it just says that, and then the Japanese men all start cracking up, and they all start laughing, and I was like, just a couple dudes being guys.
It's so easy. It's so easy. Like I said, whenever I was in Japan, I went to a Mario.
Don't worry, I got this. His favorite word is gay.
Yeah, I went to Japan. Yeah. Mario themed bar, got a few drinks, got thrashed in Mario Kart with the Japanese guys, and they were all like, and they bought me a shot, and they were like, loser takes a shot, and it was great. It's so easy. Traveling and drinking is the best thing ever.
It's ubiquitous.
So also, one of the words that we learned, Schlampe, is German. It's SCHLAMPE, Schlampe. Okay. It is German for bitch, a slut. And
come on.
Let's just say that Martin regretted teaching that to the team because we were Team Zebra, and so we would be like, to say Team Zebra bitches, he would just shout Team Zebra schlampa. But he was like, I hope there's not other Germans hearing this one team just shout bitch randomly. So my new favorite German swear.
All right,
that's hilarious.
Yeah, so I think that's just about the end of it. I'm trying to think of what else. There's so many little things that kind of happened in there. But we made it to the bottom. I survived.
Yep, and here you are to tell the tale.
Indeed.
I drank a lot with the team after
you
that.
Lived.
And we all had a great time. It took 26 hours of flying to get home though, and everything hurt.
Yes.
So,
do you remember all the links to point people towards your stuff?
My stuff?
Well, this podcast and
I know
also,
that you. Yeah, okay. Well, I know we weren't there yet. I wasn't there yet. I know that you.
Oh, you weren't there. You're still not there yet.
Damn, bro.
That's something we kind of need to be.
No, I'm not there yet. No, I'm just joking. I know that you go to Hindsight Studios on YouTube. Hindsight Studios on YouTube. There's also Spotify. There's also Hindsight Studios or some shit like that.
Nothing.
It's the Bout Nothin Podcast. Yeah, I do know that. That's the name of this podcast. But this time, it's no longer the Nothing Podcast.
Right.
We are back.
We put the bout back in Bout Nothin.
Yeah.
Do you remember the last time you had an episode?
It's like a year ago.
It was August of last year.
Woof.
Yeah, I know it's been a long time.
There was a point in time where you were doing at the last Monday of every month. It was the last Monday of June, July, and August. And nothing.
Well, you know, I
know.
had a once a month thing going there for a bit.
Yeah.
And I have ideas for other podcasts. I want to have Chase on to talk about Expedition 33 because that was a really fun game and he's interested in talking about it.
Yes.
I don't know how long that podcast will be though, because
Hopefully
we're going to probably
an hour.
have to talk about. Well, that one. What I mean is, like that's not a lot. So we'll have to figure out what we're going to do with that one, and talk about other things to keep that one going as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had ideas as well for this one because we're going to drink beer and talk about nothing. That's what we do. This is now the longest episode we've ever recorded of anything ever. It's like 2 hours long.
Record.
We've done it. So congratulations if you made it this far. Climb Kilimanjaro because I said
Give it
so.
a shot.
If I can do it, you can do it, and I nearly died. Anyway, thanks for listening. And I'll see you guys next time, unless there's more links Ian needs to share about the Bout Nothin Podcast.
Nope. The only thing I was going to say, just to clarify, is if you go into YouTube, it's at Hindsight Studios. That's how you find it. You can either put it in the search bar or you can put it at the end. Do .com/at Hindsight Studios.
Crazy.
Leave a comment. There's a couple people who've been leaving comments.
Yeah. Leave a comment. Tell me about your...
Tell me how much you want the Bout Nothin Podcast.
Yeah, well, tell me about your adventures. Huh? We'll talk about your adventures, huh? You know what? My next adventure, Machu Picchu. That's one of my goals. It'll be much, much easier than this was.
Well, my sister's been there.
Really? Badass. So tell me about your stories. If you don't travel, climb Kilimanjaro. You should do it. Traveling's great. It's not as hard as it sounds. It's just only a little scary sometimes. Anyway, thanks for listening. You can find us wherever you find us. We'll be back to talk about nothing again at some point. Probably whenever I don't have 2 hours to talk and we have when we have more time.
Would you look at the time?
Anyway,
See you.
Bye-bye.
thanks for listening. Bye-bye.